is Socrates. He's on the move, and they're going to look for Socrates in the corner. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead, and the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide-open receiver. He's got the touchdown. Postgame moving in.
Sends one on goal, and he scores! And it is a power play goal!
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon with the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
Smith delivers. That's hit back toward the mound. Weiss has it in short. He steps on second, and the ball game is over. Massapequa Coast has won the 2023 New York State Little League Baseball Championship.
Live from the Waranenko Sports Arena in Roselle, New Jersey, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of Jersey Bearcats Arena Football and the American Arena League 2. Tonight, the defending AAL2 champions, the 0-1 Jersey Bearcats, host the 2023 AAL2 championship runner-up, the 1-1 Steel City Stampede. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, and it's my pleasure to welcome everyone back into another season of the Jersey Bearcats here on the PDF Sports Network. Joining me on the call tonight is my broadcast partner, Aaron Cohen. And Aaron, opening day here at the Waranenko Sports Arena. Had to wait 2 extra weeks, but we couldn't be more excited to get our first in-person look at this 2024 Jersey Bearcats squad.
It's a pleasure to be here, Joe, and it's a great time to be a Bearcats fan as they start along their path to follow up a fantastic championship season. There has been some slight turbulence at the start of the year, but the Bearcats are no strangers to early adversity. They'll be looking to put their first win on the board, and what an opportunity to do so in a rematch of last year's championship game. There's so much talent on this roster. Look no further than reigning league MVP Stephen Colon and Offensive Player of the Year Nazir Adams, not to mention the defensive side of the ball with Jervon Young. I can't wait to see the show that these guys put on for their first time in front of their home crowd in 2024.
And Aaron, as you said, it's the home opener for the Bearcats, which means I get the chance to officially welcome everybody into the Brownstone Grill pregame show for the first time this season. The Brownstone remains a proud sponsor of Jersey Bearcats Arena Football, and you can check them out in Metuchen, New Jersey all season long. Perhaps even the PDF crew will see you at the Brownstone. But Aaron, the AAL2 debuted last season, and there were plenty of fireworks all season long. Several of the biggest moments from the first season of the AAL2 came when these two teams met. They faced off in the first week of the season and again in the championship game, with each team taking a win.
We'll start by looking at that Week 1 matchup last year, full of big plays. Firstly, on offense, Bearcats led for most of the game, helped with 2 long touchdown passes in the third quarter. The first was to Pete Savridis, and the second one later in the third quarter, about a minute left in the third quarter, another long touchdown pass from their own half. Stampede were able to jump out, big lead for the Bearcats. The Stampede had some offensive line issues, almost losing the fumble and the snap to start the second quarter. Later on in the second, Jervon Young came up with a big second down sack to set up the third and long. And on that third down, he snagged a fumble recovery on another botched snap. In the third quarter, it was Shea Davis who was able to come up with the ball as the Stampede's turnover struggles continue, as we see the Shea Davis fumble recovery here. However, with 5.5 minutes left, the Stampede began to mount a comeback. They got a nice touchdown catch right up against the boards, deep pass down the right sideline. And then with less than a minute left, the Bearcats turned it over on downs, trying to go deep on the 4th and long here, 4th and 20. The Stampede quickly turned that into 8 points off of that turnover on downs, as we see here. Great catch along the right sideline once again. And the key moment, the Bearcats have 1st and goal following this touchdown. 1st and goal here, and the Bearcats just could not get it going, losing the ball, recovered by the defense, and that gave the Stampede a chance to take the game away out from under them. Quick throw down the field on their drive. They reached half field. Quick timeout on the diving catch. Gave them an opportunity for a couple plays. Stampede giving themselves a chance here. Didn't try to go all the way down the field. Tried for a short pass attempt. Didn't really get anywhere, so they had no choice but to go all the way for the Hail Mary. Had luckily one more timeout to call. Final play here after this timeout. And with the clock running out, all they had to do was heave a prayer. And that prayer was answered. And the Stampede miraculously took a walk-off victory in what was an incredibly entertaining, albeit disappointing game for the Bearcats. What a matchup that was.
Well, Aaron, what played a big role late in that game, you mentioned the fumble near the goal line for the Bearcats. The Bearcats, if they had advanced the ball in a positive direction, would have kept the clock running and forced Steel City to use timeouts. However, because the ball was not advanced forward on the play, the clock continued, or I should say the clock stopped rather than continuing to run. And because of that, the Bearcats put themselves in a bad spot even if they had not fumbled the football. So a very unique rule to the American Arena League 2, playing a big role late in that game. But that was just the first of 2 meetings between these two teams last year. Let's get a look at some highlights from the championship game now. There wasn't great internet in Pennsylvania where the game was played, but through the choppiness, you can see goal line specialist Nasir Adams. He does a lot more than that, but he was money down around the goal line last year. There he catches a screen pass, a rare receiving touchdown for him. Here you see Stephen Colon, who will not be active in this game, buying time, scrambling out to his right, extending the play on 4th down, and the Bearcats come up with a big score to go ahead in that game 7-0. Right here, you'll see the first interception of the game by Jersey. Devon Blutcher with the pick. Takes it out to about his own 15 or 20-yard line as the Bearcats get it back, denying the Stampede in a goal-to-go situation. After the Bearcats went in front 13-0, Steel City responds. Justin Green with a kickoff return for a touchdown. Huge special teams play to get Steel City right back in the game. But Devon Blutcher, he wasn't done yet. He has another INT right here, and this one he takes out to his own 15-yard line. Once again, the Stampede denied. Here, the defensive line coming up big. Joey Ramirez around the edge takes down Caleb Walton in the backfield. Walton eventually would go down with an injury in this game, forcing his head coach, Matt Santiago, in at quarterback, as once again you see the Bearcats with a huge interception. This time, Sadiq Nathaniel off the tip. This came right before halftime. The Bearcats take it all the way for a touchdown. The game was not the same after this, but the Stampede did not quit. They came out following halftime and immediately got on the board, dealing a blow against this Jersey defense. As you'll see coming up right here, Walton back to pass, throws across to the right sideline, and making the catch was Manny Stewart. He's in for a touchdown. However, as they usually do, the Jersey offense came up with an answer. It was Stephen Colon to Kyle Ward for a Jersey Bearcats touchdown. Walton at the other end of the field responds with a rushing touchdown as the points came fast and furious in the second half of this game. The Stampede were able to stay within 2 possessions. That was key, but Nasir Adams helped put this game away for Jersey. A rushing touchdown here. Once again, Jersey ahead by 2 scores. And coming up right here, you will see the game-clinching touchdown. Stephen Colon looking up the left sideline, all alone. Dante Owens, he makes a move to the inside, leaves the defender in the dust. That's a Jersey Bearcats touchdown. They secure the 2023 AAL2 championship despite our internet issues in Pennsylvania. The video from that game, a bit choppy. This our smoothest render. We've learned our lesson now. We have to record the games when the internet is not cooperating. But nonetheless, those are some of the sights from the championship game last year between these two teams. But Aaron, before we dive deeper into tonight's matchup, let's take a look at some of what's new in the AAL2. The AAL2 had quite the footprint last year, with teams spanning a large portion of the East Coast all the way down to Georgia and the Carolinas. This season, that footprint has grown to include teams as far west as Texas. Here we get a look at all of those teams based in Texas, as well as some new additions to the AAL too.
Yeah, so first we'll talk about those new Texas teams. We've got the Dallas Falcons. They're off to a nice start. We'll mention that a little bit later. We also have the Waco Tornadoes and the Texas Hotshots. And on top of those three, we have two additional new teams that have joined the league this season. Those two teams are the aforementioned Wheeling Miners, who already have beaten the Bearcats this season. And then there's also the Peach State Cats. So then, of course, we have the four remaining returning teams. Those are the Bearcats, the Western Maryland Warriors, the Maryland Eagles, and tonight's opponent, the Steel City Stampede.
And we'll get a bit of a sneak peek later during the pregame, but there's a big championship game coming up at the end of this season, all the way in West Virginia. And if you tuned in to the Bearcats' first game, you got to look at that arena. It's going to be a great time here on PDF. We'll talk a bit more about that, but at the end of the season, the 2024 AAL2 Championship will be played in West Virginia, as I mentioned, and Championship Weekend will not only include the second AAL2 Championship game, but it will also include the League All-Star Game and much more. All of the Championship Weekend festivities will air on the PDF Sports Network as well, so that certainly gives us plenty to look forward to this season. On top of that, you know each and every one of these teams in the league has their sights set on dethroning the Bearcats as AAL2 champions in July.
That's right, Joe. Coming into the season, only one team in the league had beaten the Bearcats, and it was this Stampede team that they're facing tonight. So you better believe that when teams are looking at their bulletin boards, the Bearcats are sitting right at the top of every team's list. And we're going to get to see how the defending champs play with a target on their back.
As I mentioned at the top of the show, the Bearcats come in 0-1 and the Stampede come in 1-1. But these two teams do already have an opponent in common this season in the Wheeling Miners. And speaking of teams that are looking to dethrone the Bearcats, Wheeling has to be near the top of that list. They were dominant against Steel City from start to finish when those two teams faced off. And last week, they handed the Bearcats their first loss since week 1 of last season.
And it must have been a real shock to their system, Joe, coming in with championship confidence, returning your best players only to get knocked on your butt right from the get-go. Definitely a test of their resolve already, but as we've referenced, this team showed last year that they can shoulder an early loss and turn it into a successful campaign. With that being said, it's a totally new league, Joe. There's no telling what the rest of these new teams might have in store.
A rematch of the 2023 AAL2 Championship is coming up shortly, but before the action gets underway, our sideline correspondent and broadcast engineer Nick Durst will head down to the field for a word with some of the players, coaches, and perhaps more ahead of tonight's game. You are watching Jersey Bearcats Arena Football on the PDF Sports Network. The Brownstone pregame show continues next, following a message from our sponsors.
Radel Volkswagen of Linden is your official sponsor of Bearcats football. Visit our showroom today for great deals and tell them the Bearcats sent you. Radel VW of Linden. Visit us today.
Today's Bearcats broadcast is brought to you by our friends at Applebee's of Edison, located at 1045 US Highway 1 in Edison. Stop in after the game for great deals and drink specials. And also by J&J Snack Foods, located on 350 Fellowship Road in Mount Laurel. Call us toll-free at 800-486-9533. Thank you, Applebee's and J&J Snack Foods, for supporting Bearcats football.
Attention, local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
KKT. InvestStars is now a proud sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL2. No matter what needs you have, F. Tarkin Jones will develop the right solution for you. See for yourself the star treatment you will get with KKT. InvestStars LLC. Call today at 201-290-4802 and be a star just like the Bearcats.
Welcome back inside the Warenenko Sports Arena in Roselle, New Jersey, as we continue the Brownstone pregame show ahead of tonight's AAL2 matchup between the Jersey Bearcats and Steel City Stampede. This is Joe Foreman alongside Aaron Cohen on the call tonight, but at this time we will throw it down to our sideline correspondent, Nick Durst, who is joined by Bearcats wide receiver Brandon Renford.
Here with Brandon Renford. Brandon, making your debut here tonight. How excited are you to be joining the defending champs?
Well, we played versus them last year in the championship, so at least I get to play against my old team. But it's going to be fun. I like the arena. Cool people, cool, good energy and good vibes.
If you can't beat them, join them, I guess the word I just said. But what are you expecting here tonight? Should be a large, nice crowd, home field advantage.
A lot of energy, good vibes, and hopefully we come out with the dub.
All right, and for you personally, what are your goals this season on the field?
Just be a good teammate. You know, I'm older, so, just give good energy, give a lot of information, be a good coach.
All right, and how is the team vibing so far? What's the chemistry been like through practice?
Family, I love you.
There you have it.
Quite the exit by Brandon Renford from his conversation with Nick down on the sidelines, but Nick has several more guests to come during this pregame segment, and he has a very special guest for our next conversation, a member of the Lady Bearcats. Gianna Amato of the dance team joins Nick on the sidelines.
All right, I'm here with the dance team captain, Gianna. How excited are you for the debut edition of the team's performance this evening?
I'm super excited. We've been working really hard the past few months, and we're ready to go.
All right, so how did it go about forming this team? How did you become the captain? And what has that whole process been like for you?
So we had auditions a couple months ago. Angela just sort of reached out to a bunch of us. We ended up at tryouts. So right after tryouts, she kind of called us, told us who made the team. We had some practices past that. Just kept watching us, who was a leader, who was really taking charge and just working super hard. And then a couple weeks ago, she announced captain, and I'm super grateful, super honored to be leading such a group of talented and beautiful girls.
All right, so we're about a half hour away from the first big performance at halftime. Can you give us any teasers? What kind of songs you're going to be dancing to out there?
Only thing I'm going to say is Sean Paul.
Damn, all right, so we'll see what happens out there. And how have you girls integrated yourself into the Bearcat community with all the fans and all the families?
So I feel like we're all super new to this, but we've done a really good job at really combining with the football team, whether it's dinners, team practices, and just like kind of becoming a family all together. And the guys are super supportive of us, we're super supportive of them, and yeah, it kind of just clicked.
All right, well, best of luck out there tonight, and I guess like they say in showbiz, break a leg.
And from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball, we got a chance to speak to Brandon Renford on the offensive side. Nick is now joined by defensive lineman and linebacker for the Bearcats, Tariq Noble.
Opener tonight, how excited are the guys?
Very excited. We warmed up. You know, we were supposed to have a home opener 2 weeks ago. It got canceled, so
yeah, they were scared of you. They didn't want to come.
Yeah, they were shook. But now finally we get out here. Our fans get to see us play. It's looking good. We turned up.
All right, obviously, a lot of excitement in the building. Of course, the dance team is going to be here. Lots of fans we're expecting. But what are we projecting here on the field tonight from you guys? Big matchup here, a rematch of the championship game from last year.
We expect a lot of grit, a lot of hunger. We're gonna give it all we got. We're gonna be very competitive. We're gonna come out, try to punch them in their mouth early, and just have some fun at the end of the game.
All right, and for you this season, personal goals for you on the field?
Trying to be the best at my position, the best in the league, the best. I just want to be the best. That's my personal goals.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Yes. Now, then, forever together.
Definitely.
Thank you for your time.
That.
And we're back here from the Warenenko Sports Arena as we were having some fun while our conversation was airing. But our pregame on-field segment would not be complete without a conversation with Jersey Bearcats head coach and co-owner of both the Bearcats and the AAL2, A.J. Roque.
All right, I'm here with Coach A.J. Coach, big game here out the bat for the home opener now, rematch of the championship game. How do you keep your guys focused and ready with such a big matchup early on in the season?
Just, it's come out. It's another game, right, for us. First home opener. Really can't dwell on last year's championship, right? It's a brand new team. They got a brand new team. So, we're just going to go out here and do our thing, right? And hopefully, things that we want to do go in our favor, and we come out here with a win. Right?
Yeah.
We got some injuries, so all we're looking to do is get out here with a win.
So, obviously, we saw all the games last year, but what are some new key impact players for us to keep an eye on here tonight?
Brandon Renford, number 3, wide receiver. Today, you're going to get Jerry Ward, number 4, playing quarterback with Steph being hurt now, and possibly out for 6 weeks, which is huge. David Ross, 24, running back, stud. He's hard-nosed, like old-school player. Chris Coles, offensive lineman. He's a All-American at Long Island U. That's huge up front, for us. I can go on and on. I think we only have, don't quote me on this, but there's only 10 or 11 guys from last year back. Everybody else is new.
All right.
So we have a fairly young team to the indoor game. And we're just sitting here, ready to go. These guys are hungry.
All right.
Somebody has to pay. We said that last year when we lost the first game last year. And somebody's got to pay now again.
So, obviously, it's early on, but the big news was the big championship game this year going to be in a huge arena.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell all your fans out there about what that is going to look like in the future?
So, yes, July 6th, the AL2 championship will be in West Virginia, Wheeling, West Virginia, the home of the Wheeling Miners. We have our hopes of getting there. That's our plans, and they're not going to change. And everybody has to play us, But either way it goes for the league, that's huge for us. And where we're trying to take the AL2. And eventually when the AL1 professional side comes back, those are the type of arenas you're going to see in the AL1 only. So we're excited. We're excited of the direction of the league.
All right, definitely looking forward to that. This has been a great interview. I thought you brought the energy and brought the excitement, but Coach K, he was talking some trash before I did this. He said his post-game interview is the best interview there is. What do you think about that?
Hey, Coach K's quarter is legit at the end of the games. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it since last season.
All right, Coach, thanks. Best of luck this season. Best of luck tonight. Thank you for your time.
Great job down on the field, Nick, and a thank you to AJ and all of our guests during the pregame show for joining us ahead of kickoff. But we have another quick break, and when we come back on the other side of that break, we will be just moments away from kickoff between the Jersey Bearcats and the Steel City Stampede, a rematch of the 2023 AAL2 Championship.
Today's game is presented by Total Performance Bodywork with Dave Riemann. Dave is a body worker, licensed massage therapist, and strength and movement coach. He's combined his wide variety of expertise into a system that he calls Total Performance Bodywork. Trusted by professional athletes and bodybuilders, Dave has been helping people to recover from new and old injuries, improve their breathing efficiency, athletic performance, mobility, flexibility, and their overall strength. Visit Total Performance Bodywork at totalperformancebodywork.com or contact Dave by calling 610-570-7480 or email daveriemann@rcn.com.
Today's game is being brought to you by Meineke Auto Center. Meineke is your choice for quality, reliable service at great rates all year long. Visit us at 495 East St. George Avenue in Roselle, New Jersey, or call 908-986-3932 to schedule your service today.
The Jersey Bearcats are back for another exciting season of AAL2 Arena football. Get on board with us and follow us all year long. For information on our donations, sponsorships, and game day, and ticket information, please contact us at Jersey Bearcats Arena Football at gmail.com.
Bella Pianto Orthopedics, providing care with compassion and integrity for orthopedic disorders and injuries. We also offer concussion support for coaches, schools, and athletes, with 24-hour diagnostic and rehabilitation management for injured athletes. We are the proud team physicians for your New Jersey Bearcats. Please visit our comprehensive website or call us at 201-490-4333.
And welcome back to the Brownstone pregame show as we are closing in on kickoff between the Jersey Bearcats and the Steel City Stampede here on the PDF Sports Network. Earlier, we touched on a common opponent between these two teams, the Wheeling Miners. Currently, the Miners sit atop the AAL2 standings. Here's a look at how things are shaping up in the AAL2 through the first 2 weeks of the season.
So as we can see, the Miners are up there with the Dallas Falcons at 2-0. Impressive start to both of their tenures in the AAL2. Many of these teams have still only played one game, so you don't want to take too much away from these standings. But one thing to note is if you look at the Stampede, they've only scored 21 points in 2 games. That's a pretty stark contrast to the high-powered offense that we saw from them last season. Compare that to their 76 points allowed, and it doesn't look too favorable for Steel City unless they make some changes.
Certainly some adjustments to make for them, but it sounds like the pregame festivities are about to begin. So we'll turn it over to public address. I can't hear myself talk, but the Lady Bearcats have taken the field. The Bearcats are about to be introduced, and we'll throw it down to field level as the starters take the field.
At this time, please give a round of applause for the Lady Bearcat dancers. And now, please draw your attention to the black tunnel and 1-bar end zones to meet tonight's roster for the Bearcats game versus the Steel City Stampede. Number 1, wide receiver, Brandon Winter. Number 3, linebacker, Arthur Howell. Number 4, quarterback, Jerry Ward. Number 5, quarterback, Khalil Trotman. Number 6, wide receiver, Kyle Ward. Number 7, linebacker, Keelan Coleman. Number 8, defensive back, Devontae LeGrand. Number 9, running back, Nasir Adams. Number 10, defensive back, Dante Watson. Number 11, defensive back, Steve Busso. Number 12, wide receiver, Pete Savlies. Number 13, defensive lineman, Dylan McLeod. Number 18, defensive lineman, Tyreek Noble. Number 20, linebacker, Deshaun Copes. Number 21, defensive back, Adam Dolphin. Number 22, defensive back, Tariq Busse. Number 24, running back, David Ross. Number 26, defensive back, Jared Fletcher. Number 34, linebacker, Nick Price. Number 47, kicker, Jonathan Cordova. Number 58, defensive lineman, Shane Davis. Number 55, offensive lineman, Christopher Coles. Number 61, offensive lineman, Elijah Copes. Number 65, offensive lineman, Zahir Whitman. Number 76, offensive lineman, Stephen Nelson. Number 88, defensive lineman, Joey Ramirez. Number 61, defensive lineman Jaleel Tyler. Number 99, defensive lineman Jovan Young. Co-owner for your Jersey Bearcats, Jermaine Sanders. And for your coaching staff, first the special teams coordinator, Corey Miller. Quarterback coach, Darnell McKay. Defensive backs coach, Anthony Shaw. Offensive and defensive lineman coach, David Pinto. Defensive coordinator, John Valentine. And the head coach for your 2024 Jersey Bearcats, H.O. At this time, please rise if you're able to as we honor the United States of America and those service people around the globe defending our freedom and protecting our way of life with the singing of the national anthem by the Bearcats song, Hey Davis. Oh, say, can you see why the daughterly light was proudly held at the twilight's as gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flag, the bombs bursting in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And Aaron, we were just treated to a tremendous rendition of the national anthem by Shay Davis of the Jersey Bearcats. We hope everybody was able to absorb the sights and sounds loud and clear. This game about to get underway. We're going to have the coin toss. However, Aaron, we have one final commercial break ahead of kickoff, and then we'll let you know who is presenting our first quarter. One quick break, and when we come back, kickoff between the Bearcats and Stampede.
Bearcats fans, stay tuned just prior to kickoff as the Jersey Bearcats' own Shay Davis will sing tonight's national anthem. Coming up at the conclusion of the Brownstone pregame show right here on the PDF.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL2 champion Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir combines class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See our full lineup today, only at Zolnir, official partner of the Jersey Bearcats.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
And we are back from the Waranenko Sports Arena in Roselle, just moments away from kickoff between the Jersey Bearcats and the Steel City Stampede. But Aaron, as we get set for opening kickoff here, we remind you that tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Zolnir Championship Rings, the official championship ring providers of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL2. The Bearcats got theirs. Who will get them in 2024? No matter who wins the AAL2 in 24, Zolnir will provide excellent designs and the luxury that comes with being a champion. Zolnir Championship Rings, the official sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats. And once again, Aaron, Lady Bearcats take the field pregame. And for those who missed the beginning of our broadcast tonight, the Brownstone pregame show, of course, opened the night up. This is the home opener for the Jersey Bearcats. My name is Joe Foreman, alongside my broadcast partner, Aaron Cohen. There have been some issues with the music here in the venue. There's been a perhaps faulty wire. Now, I come from a place where we have a lot of audio cables. They might be able to use some of those, but the Lady Bearcats take the field and they perform ahead of kickoff tonight. We got a chance to speak to Gianna Amato. We will get a chance for another conversation at halftime of tonight's game. We'll learn a bit more about the Lady Bearcats and their community outreach as we get the chance to speak with Lauren Powell, a dancer spotlight coming up at halftime. The Lady Bearcats once again will join Nick right here on the PDF Sports Network. But Aaron, during the pregame, you and I got a chance to recap a couple of games between these two teams last year. The Stampede look a lot different, but as A.J. Roque mentioned, the Bearcats will look a bit different tonight. They're without their star quarterback and reigning league MVP, Stephen Colon.
That's right. And, you know, quarterback, most important position in football. And when you got to bring in a replacement, you know, hopefully with practice, he's been getting the reps and he can, you know, fill in that slot just the same way that Colon did. But you can't replace the league MVP. It's impossible. The contributions that he made, the ability to pass down the field so accurately, I mean, not everyone can just fill in with that ability. So Bearcats are going to be working on the fly here. Really interesting to see how that's going to go.
I'm very interested to see how this offense operates with a different player under center. It's going to be Jerry Ward tonight quarterbacking the Bearcats, and we have a whistle on the opening kickoff.
Went for a type of squib kick, almost like an onside kick type technique. Potentially worried about the netting up above the field here. It's rather low, but some sort of issue. They're going to redo that.
And that's something we highlighted quite often last year. The ceiling here at Waranenko, very low. It reaches its peak at midfield as they're doing the ad read now ahead of kickoff. Once again, Zolnir Championship Rings sponsoring this opening quarter. They are one of the many sponsors that adorn the boards here at the Waranenko Sports Arena. Kickoff a second time ends up in the hands of Tariq Pusey, and he deals out a stiff arm before he's slammed into the boards along the near sideline, and he is out across midfield following the opening kickoff.
It's really interesting how it works with this kickoff technique. It gives a very favorable field position just to start the return, and then you get a couple yards based on that. So not only is the ceiling relatively low, but the net is even lower than that. It's deceptive.
The ball officially spotted at the 24-yard line of Steel City, just beyond the midfield stripe as they await another game ball from the sideline. That is tossed in. Keep in mind on kickoffs, Aaron, that uno is in play, and uno occurs when the ball is kicked into the end zone and then is either, well, I should say when the returning player is tackled. I was going to say if recovered by the kicking team, but that would be a possession. So
also would be.
Or a touch, well, you have to recover it. There are no touchbacks. As that's handed off to Nasir Adams, and he is taken down perhaps and finally brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. It took 4 Stampede defenders to take him down. And Aaron, we got a roster relatively late for Steel City, but that was Tyshawn Stewart first to Adams in the backfield.
That's right. He was right on top of it, Joe. Basically met Adams right when he got the ball. No opportunity for gainage of yards there. Nice play by the defense.
All right, so I wasn't clear when I said it. The uno occurs when a player on the return team is tackled in the end zone. You have to recover the ball in the end zone. Otherwise, you're at risk of conceding the uno on a recovery. And there are touchbacks, of course, if the ball travels beyond the boards.
Well,
Ward's first pass over the middle, and that was dropped by Brandon Renford.
Uncharacteristic from Renford. Usually short-handed, not very contested, just hit him right in the palms, couldn't reel it in.
Renford, a veteran of the arena game, as we mentioned during the pregame. He was a member of the Steel City Stampede last year, the team that faced Jersey in the AAL2 championship.
Very good performer, and this sets up for a 3rd and long now. Failing to get yardage there.
Bearcats didn't face many 3rd down and long situations last season. First down at about Steel City 14. Ward in motion pre-snap. And Ward, the quarterback, is taken down. So we have Kyle Ward at wide receiver and Jerry Ward at quarterback. And Aaron, that's going to become quite the mouthful, having to say the full name every time.
Well, maybe we'll get a special Ward-to-Ward connection, but not on that occasion. Quarterback scramble, did not get the first down. So 4th down now for the Bearcats. So we're going to have to see what they have here.
4th and about 11. Now, long field goals are in play. Drop kicks to the uprights are in play. All of those are allocated different point totals. But the Bearcats will go for it on 4th down. Jerry Ward at quarterback. Nasir Adams, positioned in front of him to his right. Renford, the motion man pre-snap. As Ward looks to scramble again, he's out across midfield, but not even close to a first down as he is gang tackled by 3 Stampede defenders. As we do have a flag in the secondary, so hold on a moment. The Bearcats may have been gifted a first down here if this is a penalty in the defensive backfield.
That'll be a big moment for this offense. Haven't been able to generate any explosive plays in this first drive.
Well, I don't see the Bearcats' offense going anywhere. So it looks like there was a penalty against Steel City. The question is, was it a pre-snap penalty or a penalty in the defensive backfield? The former would just move the ball up. The latter would result in a first down, and it looks like they're moving the ball up about 5 yards. So it appears to be a pre-snap penalty as the chains aren't going anywhere. And now they're going to call head coach A.J. Roque back over, as well as Stampede head coach Matt Santiago.
So coach discussion early on in this first drive. Referee giving them the rundown. But, yeah, it looks like they'll just redo 4th down here. Another opportunity to hopefully get this pass game going early on.
Well, it looked like the Stampede defense had gotten off the field early in this game. However, that does not appear to be the case now as the two coaches continue this discussion with the head official.
Even if that play didn't count, it was still a nice effort from Tyshawn Stewart once again. He didn't finish the tackle, but he was the first one to get to Ward there. So continue watching Tyshawn Stewart. He's flashy on the edge.
Well, I can tell you, Coach Santiago did not appreciate what just transpired, but that's all I can tell you from that conversation. Couldn't hear anything else. Can't repeat what was said at the end of it. 4th down once again. The ball moved up 5 yards. It's pitch over to Adams. And did he get enough?
I think he did.
He did. It is a 1st down for the Bearcats. So what appeared to be a turnover on downs instead results in a second opportunity. Less yardage to go. Jersey picks up the 1st.
Really ideal situation for the Bearcats. And now not only do they get a new set of downs, but they're in much closer range for a kick if need be. So looking like points for the Bearcats potentially.
All right, so it is a modified running clock in the American Arena League 2. And that clock is now inside of 10 minutes in the opening quarter. We will update you on the clock throughout the night. Unfortunately, the scoreboard system here at Waranenko not compatible with our scoreboard data collecting device. So we'll have to read you the time remaining as that pass is thrown at the feet of Brandon Renford. He was right at the goal line, but that ball came up just a bit short.
And I'll tell you what, Renford had space. If that ball gets just a couple more yards in the air, they've got a touchdown, the Bearcats, but Ward had men in his face. He couldn't get a full throw off, and unfortunately, we got 2nd down here for the Bearcats.
And I think something that is encouraging for the Bearcats early on is that their receivers are getting really good separation in the defensive backfield. Ward has had a couple of open targets on this first drive. Renford, one of them, dropped the first pass attempt of the game. That time, the misconnection was on the quarterback as that ball was a bit short. So we'll see if Jersey can continue to protect their signal caller here. 2 receivers wide to the right. Savrides now toward the far sideline, and that's a screen pass caught as he is pushed all the way down inside the 5 toward the goal line, and I think he is in or perhaps just down at the 1. What an effort by Savrides.
Unfortunately, no touchdown. It's about as close as you can get, but wow. 4 or 5 extra yards on what looked like a dead play. Really great effort from the Bearcats there.
Goal to go for the Jersey offense as they have been reinvigorated these last couple of plays. Renford in motion pre-snap as Ward keeps and takes it in on the read option for a Bearcats touchdown. And Jersey is on the board at home for the first time this season.
Really easy walk-in touchdown there for Ward. No one even near him. And what at first looked like a dud of an opening drive for the Bearcats, they get that break on the penalty, and the 4th down conversion comes through. They capitalize to the fullest extent. We're getting the extra point here. Really bad break for the Stampede.
The kicker for Jersey, Jonathan Cardova, wearing number 19, as that kick was blocked. And I think we had a pre-snap penalty, perhaps. Kicker not leaving the field here, but that may be for the kickoff. We'll see. Special teams coach Corey Miller didn't look too upset. I think he believed that there was a penalty against the Stampede, so we'll wait while the officials sort it out. We'll get one more look at it on replay as well. Looked like there may have been an offsides on the play, and they are indeed going to get another attempt at the extra point.
Yep.
To try and go ahead by 7.
Gonna do it again. I mean, the blocker was there extremely early on the last play. He had to have gotten a jump.
Yeah, I think the lineman was trying to protect his kicker as the extra point is good off the ceiling and through the uprights. So the Bearcats are on the board for the first time at home this year. It's an early touchdown for Jerry Ward on the read option. And Jersey follows with the extra point, 7-0.
And that's huge for Jerry Ward, Joe. I'll tell you what, that confidence boost, getting that score right off the beginning. You know, it's difficult coming in as a backup to get that confidence going, but Ward, I'm sure that will smooth things out for him for the rest of the game.
And Aaron, the complexion of this quarter and this game completely shifted with what was a huge fourth down penalty against the Stampede. Unfortunately, the officials are not mic'd up, so we don't know what the call was. However, you have to assume the penalty was in the defensive backfield as it afforded the Bearcats offense 5 extra yards. It did not give them an automatic first down, however, so I can't imagine what penalty in the secondary would afford 5 yards and not a first down. It had to be a pre-snap call, though the flag came from way downfield behind the Stampede defensive back. So not much clarity in that explanation I just gave, but we're not really sure what the call was. Either way, it's a big one as the Bearcats capitalize and put 6 on the board, ultimately 7.
Yeah, it would be great if we could get more information, but we can only work with what we have. Bearcats now kicking it off.
And that one is through the hands of the return man, Dante Mason. He scoops it up and is out across the 15, down at the 17-yard line.
Almost disastrous there for Mason.
Almost.
Thankfully, he was able to recover it, got a few yards. So Stampede now opportunity to respond to the opening score from the Bearcats.
And again, we just received the Stampede roster about 10 minutes before kickoff. Unfortunately, a lot of their team documents were left behind at the team hotel, so we had to get a screenshot off of a screenshot. I'm operating on the third-hand screenshot, but it is Stampede football. First play of the game is a pass, and the Bearcats knock the ball away. It's loose, but it is recovered by Tyshawn Stewart. Nearly a disastrous start for Steel City as Delonte Lewis was stripped of the football.
Talk about a bold call to start off your game on defense with the blitz. Worked perfectly, though. No time to even look for a pass. And we talked about him on defense. Tyshawn Stewart collecting that fumble, and he's already been impactful for the Stampede.
At quarterback for Steel City, Delonte Lewis. The motion man is Juju Jordan, and he is the receiver on that completed pass, as he was not an easy man to bring down there. Making the tackle for Jersey was Devontae LeGrand.
Really well wrapped up there. Opportunity on the short pass for some yards after the catch, but defense made sure that that did not happen, and it's a 3rd and long now for the Stampede.
So the Stampede gets some of the lost yardage back. We are just inside of 6 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Once again, the motion man is Jordan. Lewis looking down the field. There is nobody home. The nearest uniformed player was LeGrand once again. He nearly ran that one down and came up with the pick.
Quarterback knocked on his butt once more, so the pressure is getting to the backfield. Bearcats defense looking ferocious early on in this game.
And those hits add up over the course of a game. And to take a couple of those very early on is certainly something you'd like to avoid if you're Lewis. Now he faces a 4th down and long. First down marker at about the Bearcats' 23-yard line. So a long way to go for Steel City. Lewis will look to throw for it, and immediately the pocket collapses on him as we have a flag at the line of scrimmage. The Bearcats are pointing in the direction of Steel City as the clock is stopped at 4:51.
If we remember going back to the highlights of these matchups last season, one of the biggest issues that the Stampede faced was on the offensive line. They couldn't handle the snaps. They couldn't block Javon Young properly. And it looks like they still are struggling with that same issue, Joe. Offensive line.
The pocket collapsed very quickly on that last play as we are still awaiting an official penalty signal. However, I'm not sure we need one as the Bearcats offense has made their way back out onto the field. And it will be Jerry Ward and the Bearcats to take over deep inside of Steel City territory.
Looks like that might be 1st and goal right off the bat, not what the Stampede wanted to do. And we're starting to see the reasons why the Stampede were not able to score even a single point against the Miners, Joe. Remember that 58-0 score, Miners beating the Stampede this season. So
I think a lot of early week struggles, typically you can toss them aside. However, we are seeing some of the issues that plagued Steel City in that first game, rearing their ugly heads here in the first quarter.
Bearcats will be licking their chops here, Joe, to get a 14-0 lead early in this game.
Well, right now, they are announcing the parameters for the halftime contest. I think I heard fitness challenge.
Oh, wow.
A couple of years ago, I might have been up for that.
You can give it a shot, Joe. I believe in you there.
I could be completely mistaken because when the PA is booming, can't hear myself speak.
Yep.
I also talk a bit louder, so everyone at home is treated to an augmented version of my voice.
It's a sensory sensation, I'll tell you that much.
Just imagine if you were here.
Yeah.
Of course, these games open to the public at the Waranenko Sports Arena. There is an entry fee. However, it is well worth it. Concessions, a very nice dining area, bleacher seating.
It's happening right now, Joe.
All right.
So we're not even waiting until halftime for the competition. We've got the show right in the middle of the first quarter.
So it looked like push-ups, crunches, and then a sprint the rest of the way?
Well, we're going to find out. But
I think that's what was said. We'll find out.
A couple, it looks like maybe teenagers taking part in this.
Jumping jacks now. I will not be partaking from up here, Aaron.
It looks like it's too late to get in on it.
I'm getting winded just watching as we had a dive for the finish line. Can't say I'm going to dive on the turf with bare arms. Not a smart move.
No. Easy way to burn yourself up.
There's a reason the players, a lot of them wear that tape on the back of their elbows. As we get a look at a replay of that photo finish, courtesy of our engineer tonight, Nick Durst. On camera, Patty Two Cams, Pat G. Lorenzo. Once again, this is Joe Foreman on the call alongside Aaron Cohen for this Jersey Bearcats home opener, their second game in the 2024 AAL2 regular season. The championship rematch from last year against the Steel City Stampede. And with a few moments before the action resumes, be a good time to remind you that the opening quarter is sponsored by Zonier Championship Rings, the official ring of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL2. Bearcats hope for some more bling from Zonier when this season comes to an end, but a long way to go on the road to West Virginia. Savrides in motion pre-snap. He takes the handoff. And with a stiff arm, he's able to pick up a couple of extra yards, but he's brought down right around the line of scrimmage.
Long running start for Savrides there, but he wasn't able to carry that momentum, had to kick it outside. Stampede defense doing a good job there. The rushing attack struggling a little bit for the Bearcats.
First down run for Jersey. And in this area of the field, Nasir Adams always finds a way to factor in. It's very rare that the Bearcats are forced to pass down around the end zone, but they certainly have plays in the arsenal. A.J. Roque, of course, calling the plays, and that's one of the unique things about the AAL2. Offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator out on the field. Renford in motion pre-snap. The throw goes his way, and it's intercepted. That is picked off by Peterson Apollon. And I hope I didn't butcher his name, but we don't have a pronunciation guide. Either way, it is Peterson with the INT. And the Stampede will take over as the Bearcats turn it over just shy of the goal line.
Well, it was a nice route, well drawn up play, but defensive back was just all over it. Apollon, he was baiting Ward. He was watching that route, looking for the pass to come. Quarterback's eyes were right on it, and he jumped it at just the right time. Really good defensive play and exactly what the Stampede needed to get their offense back out there for another chance.
So Apollon making an impact early. He comes up with the interception. Delonte Lewis and the Stampede offense right back out on the field as they will hand it off to their big running back, Keem Stewart. But he is met and tackled hard. Once again, right about at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like he may have lost a couple on that one, though. it's really tough to tell. Sometimes the chains get crisscrossed a bit, but it does appear that they lost about 2 or 3.
Tackle was made there by number 52, Elijah McKenzie. Listed on the roster as offensive lineman, but he's out there and he's making plays. Not sure if that's a roster issue or what, but good play there.
Lewis will look to throw. He pump fakes and throws left. Stewart has the catch, and he is slammed into the padding along those far side boards. And Aaron, you have to like the way the Bearcats are tackling early.
They're hitting hard, not giving those players second chances. No missed tackles so far. That was Tariq Pusey. Hard hit with the shoulder to the chest.
And there were 3 black jerseys in the area on that particular play. I saw Keemon Coleman in the area, Devontae Legrand in the area, and Legrand is playing along the near side. He rallied all the way over to the far sideline. So it appears Legrand is in more of a safety position, perhaps favoring the near side with 2 receivers on this side of the field. Lewis looks to throw again, takes off toward the near sideline, and he deals a big shoulder as he is slammed head first into the boards. Lewis is fired up as he took a late hit straight into the glass, and he dealt out a big hit of his own on that carry.
Bodies being thrown around, Joe. Delonte Lewis going around like a rag doll, but he gets up energized. Big run to set up a 4th and short, and they're going to go for this.
Very easy to be lost among those big hits, Aaron, is the fact that it is 4th down and about a yard to go. Big play in this game with 1:45 to go in the opening quarter. Jersey leading 7-0. Chance of defense from the Bearcats faithful. Lewis with Stewart in front of him in the backfield. Jordan in motion. Lewis looking down the field, throws in the direction of Jordan, and he comes down in traffic with a great catch. Goal to go for the Stampede.
Oh my goodness, what a play by Juju Jordan. Wow. All they needed was 1 yard, but they go all the way down the field, and Jordan with 2 men, 1 on either side of him. He keeps that ball in his hands. What concentration. That is really impressive and a huge play for this Stampede offense. Desperately in need of explosiveness.
Juju on the jump ball sets up goal to go for Steel City. He is in motion. Fake handoff. Lewis takes off for the goal line. And is he in? He is. Touchdown Stampede. And Steel City is on the board for the first time tonight.
Well, who would have expected this turn of events, Joe? It really looked like the Bearcats were going to put up a 2-score lead, but instead we're tied right up with just a little under a minute left in this first quarter. And it's crazy how quickly the momentum can shift.
No question about it, Aaron. It looked like Jersey was poised to go up by 2 scores. They had the ball, I believe, just outside of a goal-to-go situation. They had a first down to pick up inside the 5. However, the interception thrown by Ward set up Steel City with an opportunity. Jordan comes up big on 4th down. And then Lewis, after dealing out and taking a huge hit earlier in the drive, carries it in for 6. He will now look to throw. 2-point try, no good, as the pass by Lewis is incomplete over the middle. Petitioning for a call was Apollon in the end zone. He does not get one, and the Bearcats will maintain the lead. They're in front, 7-6.
Interesting choice there to go for 2, Joe. Why do you not really? I'm interested
Aaron,
to know the thought process.
Many teams don't have a kicker. Kickers, tough to come by, and you know, with the emphasis that Jersey places on special teams, they were sure to bring in a new kicker after their kicker from last year departed the team, and they do so in Jonathan Cordova. Cordova previously converted on an extra point after a flag against Steel City negated the blocked PAT following the Jersey touchdown. 45.5 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Once again, modified running clock here in the AAL2. The ball must be advanced forward to keep the clock running in the final 2 minutes of each half. That's something to keep in mind as well. An interesting quirk in the timing rules for the American Arena League 2. As this kick is squibbed toward the center of the field. 3 Bearcats converge, picked up by Watson. Watson hit low and taken down just across midfield. And it will be a Jersey Bearcats first down once again They will start a drive at the Steel City 24.
It really can't be emphasized enough how much these short kicks are affecting the flow of the game. None of these drives off of scores are starting in the team's own half. Basically every drive starting from around midfield. It's really interesting.
You can gain quite the advantage on special teams if you're able to pin a team back on kickoffs. You don't see many touchbacks here in Waranenko because of the orientation of the ceiling. A lot of kicks are low in order to keep it from hitting the netting. For that reason as well, you probably won't see an Uno here at Waranenko either. And Aaron, that will do it for the first quarter. Quick break here on PDF. Our score after 1, Jersey 7 and Steel City 6.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL2 champion Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir combines class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See our full lineup today, only at Zolnir, official partner of the Jersey Bearcats.
Today's game is being brought to you by Meineke Auto Center. Meineke is your choice for quality, reliable service at great rates all year long. Visit us at 495 East St. George Avenue in Roselle, New Jersey, or call 908-986-3932 to schedule your service today.
And we are back from the Waranenko Sports Arena. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Aaron Cohen. And at the start of the second quarter, the Jersey Bearcats lead the Steel City Stampede by a score of 7-6. And Aaron, it's time to let our viewers know that tonight's second quarter is being sponsored by Meineke Car Center in Linden. From extensive repair to preventative maintenance, Meineke of Linden is your pit stop on the road to success. Their qualified team brings you the best service and reliability at the right price. See our friends at Meineke of Linden, official sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats. It will be Jersey football. As Ward will look to pass, he tucks it and runs as he is tackled out across midfield. Some late flags fly, and we will see what the call is. Now, I thought Jersey had returned the kickoff across midfield. They started on their own side of midfield there, so that's something that I picked up as the quarter began. But, Aaron, a very entertaining first quarter. These two teams dealing some big blows, both metaphorically and literally. That run by Lewis saw big hits on both sides.
Yeah, that's right, and we saw it just on the kickoff as well. These teams are going at each other. We know there's a history between the two of them, so I'm sure specifically the Stampede are really looking to get back at the Bearcats here. Let's not forget it's that championship rematch. And this is a game that really is influenced by mistakes early on. We had that penalty by the Stampede defense that allowed the Bearcats to continue driving and score, and then that interception thrown by Ward.
The turnover was certainly a big one. It completely changed this game in the first quarter. Early for a game-changing play, but a big play nonetheless. As Savridis is in motion, Ward looking to throw, throws one behind Renford, and we've seen a couple of misconnections between Ward and Renford, as Ward has just been a bit off the mark on a couple of those passes.
This looked like just a bit of a timing issue there from Jerry Ward. He had the right route. He had the open man. He just needed it on the other side of his body. Good effort from Renford trying to reach back and make the catch, but defense was there to make sure he couldn't reel it in.
It will be second down for the Bearcats. 10 to go, as it looked like they replayed first down. So now, Aaron, the ball is spotted where I thought it should have been to open the quarter. The down markers read second down, so I think they replayed first down at the correct spot. I could be mistaken. That's what it looks like. Savrides in motion, handoff to Adams, and Adams takes a big hit. And how about these defenses playing with some fire early in this game? Now, we don't have a number 5 on our Steel City roster, so unfortunately, we can't give credit where it is due on that big hit. But, Aaron, it was certainly a big one.
That's right, and it looked like he was maybe going to find a hole there, and number 5 really came out of nowhere and knocked him off his feet. The Stampede playing with passion early on in this game, like you said, Joe. They're clearly looking for revenge.
Both of these defenses fired up early. Big plays for both sides on the defensive side of the football. It is now third down, about 6 to go. Renford in motion. Ward looking in his direction. Completes over the middle. And that was a big tackle on that play by Apollon. He was able to hold on and stop Renford from breaking free for potentially a touchdown.
Yeah, if he's able to turn around there and face up the defender, Renford really dangerous in the open field, but even still, big for Renford just to get that catch. He had the drop earlier, had a couple missed timings. Good for Renford and Ward to link up there. Hopefully they can get that going a little bit more as the game goes on.
And that is a Bearcats first down. .12:52 on the clock in the second quarter. Jersey leading 7-6. It's a toss for Nasir Adams, and he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. The Stampede do well to take Adams down in the backfield, and you have to think that Steel City had that one scouted.
Yeah, and it was Dante Mason there to make that play, peeled off his blocker really quickly, and just like on every other run play, just there to meet Nasir Adams there right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing to gain.
Second down and long for Jersey coming up here.
Nasir Adams, not necessarily the make you miss in a phone booth type of guy, a little bit more of a power type. Hasn't really gotten the opportunity to show us that yet.
Adams, a big back. I have a photo of my interview with him from last season. He's a big guy. As Ward spikes one into the turf. And they're going to let this one continue as Renford scooped it up and took it down toward the 10-yard line. So I thought that was a forward pass. Apparently not. However, I'm not sure the ball reached the line of scrimmage either. And I have to admit, I'm not certain whether or not that plays a role in the ruling to let that play continue.
And either way, I mean, talk about making something out of nothing, a play that completely broke down. Renford just using his skills to make men miss and gaining yardage off of what
We had a brief audio glitch out. Our audio dropped for just a moment, but we're back. It should be third down, as Ward will hand off to Adams, and immediately 3 Stampede defenders are there. Leading the way on that play was Lee Holmes.
There was just never a hole there for Adams to attack, Joe. Offensive line could not open it up. Credit goes to Keem Stewart. He was disruptive there in the middle of the defensive line. And Nas Adams, he's a little frustrated after that play. He just hasn't had any room to operate in the open field.
Now, once again, we don't have a clear view of the down marker, but by my count, it should be fourth down.
Timeout there called by the Stampede.
We have it at a 4th and about 2, though with that last loss, that number may increase slightly. Either way, a timeout was called, as you mentioned, Aaron. And with 10:26 to go in the second quarter, another big play coming up in this first half. And this has been a really hard-hitting, physical game, back and forth in the early going. It looked like Jersey might run away with it, but Steel City did well to keep within striking distance, not allowing that touchdown to make it a 2-score game. They went straight down the field, put up 6, and now have a chance to get the ball back with a chance to take the lead.
That's right, and it's really been just a matter of a couple big plays that have put the Stampede in this position. We talked about the turnover, the interception with a sizable return as well, and then that big 4th down catch by Jordan down the field. And without those 2 splash plays, the Stampede really have been unable to get much going. So we'll see if they're able to carry that momentum into the rest of this half.
The officials have signaled it is 4th down. We can't see the down markers. We estimate between 3 and 5 yards. Ward looking end zone for Renford, and he's got it for the touchdown. A beautiful crossing route, and Jerry Ward put it on the money as Brandon Renford is in for 6, and Jersey leads it by 7.
Well, Renford's been the focus of the offense so far this game, and his explosiveness shows you why, able to get open in the short field there. And it seems as though they were almost using Savridis as a type of decoy, expecting the defense to pay attention to him.
And Aaron, you made a good point. Not a lot of room to work with down around the goal line. It's tough to run offense from there, and I think that's a big part of the reason why Jersey runs so often in goal to go. As the extra point is good by Jonathan Cardova. The Bearcats now in front by 8. And that's important because as the game goes on and those extra points continue to add up, eventually you can't keep pace if you're failing on 2-point tries. So if Steel City was to fail going for 2 again, a Jersey touchdown and an extra point make things that much more difficult on Steel City. They would need consecutive 2-point tries in that case just to look ahead a bit.
Yeah, it's an interesting moment where potentially both teams have scored 2 touchdowns, but they're not tied up. It's just another deficiency of not having a kicker. Don't overlook special teams.
Right now, there are an even 10 minutes on the clock as we play on here in the second quarter from the Waranenko Sports Arena. And with a stoppage in the action, we'd like to remind you once again that tonight's second quarter is being sponsored by Meineke Car Center in Linden. From extensive repair to preventative maintenance, Meineke of Linden is your pit stop on the road to success. Their qualified team brings you the best service and reliability at the right price. See our friends now at Meineke of Linden, official sponsors of the Jersey Bearcats. The clock now begins to run as it ticks down toward 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. And Aaron, our viewers need to be sure to stay with us during the halftime break. We're going to take a look back at the Week 1 game between the Bearcats and the Wheeling Miners. We have some interviews coming up during the half as well, so be sure to stay with us here on the PDF Sports Network. Plenty to come during our halftime break. And the Bearcats hope that they can maintain a lead through that break as Steel City will take over at about their own 16-yard line now. Aaron, I completely missed the kickoff, so I do apologize for that, as Lewis will look to scramble left, and he takes another big hit along the boards. And I think that will go for a loss of about 1. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Really good job by the defense there. It looked like for a second that he might have an edge, Lewis, but the defensive line shifted over really quickly, pinned him up against those boards.
Lewis, not the biggest guy, but he's shown that he is willing to play a physical game, embraces contact, willing to lower the shoulder, and he's been impressive carrying the football early in this game. As we have a pre-snap whistle, and it looks like a timeout was called by the Stampede. So timeout, Steel City, they'll talk it over. If I'm not mistaken, that is the second Steel City timeout, though we have a timeout called by both the Bearcats and the Stampede officially on our screen. So it may be one timeout each. Either way, the Stampede have called timeout with possession and a second down coming up. Head coach Matt Santiago in the middle of the Steel City huddle right now as the offense looks over the play sheet. And this is a big drive for Steel City because they do get the ball to start the second half. If they can end the first half within one score or within a couple of points, they give themselves a chance to potentially take the lead with a touchdown to open the third quarter. Lewis looking to throw, pocket collapsing. He gets away. A flag flies in the offensive backfield, and Lewis is taken down at the 20. And that's going to be a penalty against Steel City.
That Stampede offensive line continuing to have issues blocking for their quarterback. We really haven't seen that much of Delonte Lewis's passing ability because he keeps having to scramble. The one time he was able to get a pass off downfield, it was a huge play. So that's got to be frustrating for Stampede fans to see.
And I think something that you'll see when a team is being disrupted in the offensive backfield and the quarterback has to get the ball out very quickly, that team will be much more reliant on their receivers to go up and make big plays like we saw from Juju Jordan earlier. When you're under duress, the jump ball plays a much bigger role in your offense, and we've seen that from Steel City tonight. They're going to need to make contested catches if the pressure continues, as Lewis will hand off to Stewart. Stewart fighting forward, and he is tackled at about the 12. Now, I thought that last play got to the 20, so the offensive penalty backed them up a bit. We cannot see the original line of scrimmage, which was the line on 1st and 10. Bearcats bench packed. There has to be about 25 players on that bench. Very crowded in that area, so we have no view of the down markers.
They've got a much bigger roster than Steel City, that's for sure.
This should be 4th down. Lewis airing it out. And that is off the hands of his receiver. And up for grabs it was, but that ball falls to the turf. And this will be 4th down. So we were a down ahead. The penalty, I believe, resulted in a replaying of 2nd down. And then they had the loss on the carry, or perhaps a small gain. Always tough to tell from our angle. But this will be 4th down.
And that was a dangerous moment there, Joe. That ball pumped up in the air. It could have been an interception. But Steve Puzo couldn't get there in time.
I thought he might have let it fall because it was 4th down. As Lewis will look to throw near side, Jordan goes up, and Jordan's got it again! Juju Jordan on another jump ball picks up a huge Steel City 1st down.
Well, Jordan and coming through in the 4th. Is there a better combination than that, Joe? I mean, twice in a row, they've thrown up a prayer for Juju, and he has answered that prayer. What an impact he's having for this team. Who knows where they'd be without him right now?
Jump ball, Juju Jordan, perhaps, as he has gone up to get it in 2 big situations to pick up Steel City 1st downs. And now the Stampede are in business. They have it at the Bearcats' 15-yard line. 2 receivers to the right of Lewis in the offensive backfield. Jordan in motion. Lewis will look right. He now breaks to his left and takes off up the field. And he is thrown forward toward the 10-yard line. He looks to be down at about the 12.
Getting the tackle from behind there was Joey Ramirez, but one of the more successful scrambles there for Lewis, able to make a move or two and grab a couple on the 1st down.
We have a 2nd quarter media timeout. And with that, we will run an ad break. The Lady Bearcats being introduced on the field one by one. We got a chance to meet one of them during the pregame, but a word from our sponsors coming up here. We'll be right back with the remainder of the 2nd quarter.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL2 champion Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir combines class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See our full lineup today, only at Zolnir, official partner of the Jersey Bearcats.
Today's game is being brought to you by Meineke Auto Center. Meineke is your choice for quality, reliable service at great rates all year long. Visit us at 495 East St. George Avenue in Roselle, New Jersey, or call 908-986-3932 to schedule your service today.
And we are back as play will continue momentarily in the 2nd quarter. But Aaron, we have another fan contest. This time, fans will attempt to kick an extra point from the goal line. Now, I hope that glass is shatterproof.
You know, she got some nice power on that kick. She just didn't get the lift that you need to get it through the uprights.
Now, Aaron, as a former soccer player, could you put one through the uprights with ease?
I think I could.
You think you could?
I think I could.
I certainly cannot. I'm much more of a power athlete. Not much grace these days.
Although kicking a football a lot different than kicking a soccer ball, theoretically it seems as though it would be easier to get lift given the shape of the ball when you kick it.
So the first one traveled straight to the glass. That attempt just a bit wide. These fan contests, a nice new addition as that one looked to be off the upright. So close.
I thought we had one there. I really did. And this last kicker is getting quite a run up.
Let's see what he's got. Just a bit wide.
That's what we call a toe poke, Joe. That never works out.
The toe poke. So, Aaron, what is the proper way to kick the football for an extra point? Do I go in toes first, as we have another off the upright? Do I go in toes first, or do I go with the instep on the side?
Neither, actually.
Neither.
Ideally, what you want to do is point the toe down and get it kind of on the laces on the big, long foot bone on the top.
So I'd be there a very long time. Though I have a lot of surface area. I wear size 14, so I have a lot of surface area to kick that ball.
That being said, you don't need anything close to perfect form in this scenario. All you need to do is just have a little bit of luck.
Now, the question was going to be, are we going to wait until somebody puts it through? Now, we have quite a few contestants. It looks to be about 4 spectators welcome down to the field. And we've yet to have a made attempt here.
I sure hope we're not waiting for a made one because I don't think we got all night.
I might have to send you down there, Aaron.
I would happily take care of it if they need it.
I think they need it.
Nope, they
That'll
called
do
it
it. We saw a couple of very good efforts, but those came up empty off the upright. And we had some guest kickers from the stands participating in our second fan contest of the night. That being said, I think Jonathan Cordova's job with the Bearcats is safe, at least for tonight.
That's true, but maybe the Stampede were watching with some interest.
That is true. They don't have a kicker on the roster that we know of. We don't have positions on the roster, but given that they didn't attempt an extra point, we would presume they don't have a kicker. Jordan the motion man. Lewis throws deep across the middle, and there is no question that is pass interference.
Yep. Flag coming out. A little bit delayed, but he was draped all over Jordan, and that's going to be first and goal, I think, Joe.
Yeah, Jordan was hooked, and it looks like we have an injury down on the field.
Looks like.
You always hate to see that.
Looks like maybe number 15, Carlos Calvalho, grabbing his left shoulder.
Calvalho down and looked to be in a lot of pain, grabbing at his left shoulder. And a lot of the time, you almost hope that it's maybe a minor dislocation and the trainer can pop it back in for you. I'm not an anatomy expert, but I think in many situations like this, that's the best case scenario. And he doesn't appear able to lift his left arm. So I think they'll get him on a trainer's table in the back, and they'll work on that left arm. Of course, the Bearcats with a great training staff on site. And hopefully, if that is Carlos, he's attended to quickly now. Our camera, a bit heavy for the tripod. It took a dip there at some point during that last sequence, but hopefully nobody missed anything.
And of note, we mentioned it once briefly, but the Stampede bench not particularly deep, so having an injury in the first half, not ideal for their game plan, Joe.
Certainly not. As I said before, that Jersey bench is very, very crowded. I can't overstate it. There is no space to be found. Jordan in motion again as Lewis takes off, and the quarterback draw works to perfection as once again Lewis lowers his shoulder. This time he is in for 6.
second rushing touchdown of the day for Delonte Lewis. And, Joe, he is the heart and soul of this offense, really powering it from all aspects, rushing and in the air. He is an impressive athlete.
And you have to love the way he's been willing to lower his shoulder and absorb contact when he has carried the football. The pocket around him when he's looked to throw has collapsed quickly. He's been under a lot of pressure. That time, the Stampede used that to their advantage on the quarterback draw. The Jersey defensive line all up in the backfield, and Lewis was out of there quickly as he took off up the field and across the goal line for a Stampede touchdown. Good play calling there by head coach Santiago, catching the Jersey defense in the backfield. And with that, the Stampede will go for 2 and try and tie this game. Jordan in motion. Lewis looking to run, doesn't have any running room, nearly stumbled, and he's finally taken down. Perhaps they went to the well one too many times there on the draw play as the 2-point try fails and Jersey leads it by 2.
Ironically, the blocking on that play was actually better than we've seen on most of the offense so far from the Stampede. Lewis had plenty of time to pick a gap, but there's just nothing open up. Really good rushing defense from the Bearcats to keep everything under wraps.
Well, we had some happy birthday wishes in the arena. Though with our headsets on, Aaron, it is very tough to make out exactly what is being said of public address. I heard the name Amora, if I'm not mistaken. So if that is indeed correct, Amora, happy birthday from us here at PDF. She's not the only one with a birthday today, Aaron.
Oh, really?
31.
Happy birthday.
31. A lot of gray for a 31-year-old, and thank you for that, Aaron. But I've been mistaken for much younger and much older. So I guess that's good and bad. The average falls somewhere in the middle.
Right.
So I did meet one of our commentators today for the first time. I had an event elsewhere on a D2 college campus at the College of Staten Island, and I met our commentator for the day, and he says to me, I imagined you were much older. Must be the distinct voice. Kickoff on its way. That's off the netting, and that draws a whistle. So we've seen Steel City squib it a couple of times, perhaps in an effort to avoid the ceiling. That's easier said than done. And with the ball contacting the ceiling, it will be placed at the 20 of the Bearcats. So Jersey will take over. 3:30 to go in this first half. So the Bearcats have plenty of time. Obviously the field not as large as a regulation football field, so the amount of time you need to score is minimal. That being said, if Jersey manages the clock right, they can try and ensure they get the last possession of the first half.
It will be a game of clock management, Joe, but Jersey, I think, will just be focused on extending that lead. The Stampede haven't been able to convert on either of their 2-point conversions, so even if we keep going back and forth with touchdowns, it's favorable for the home team here. Stampede got to figure out those extra points.
If you're the Stampede, you would like to go into the half within less than 6. However they manage that, we'll see. Renford in motion. Ward looks to throw. He has it out down the field. He has a man with a step, and a flag is thrown. Now, I saw the penalty as the shove from behind by Lamaj Stewart drew the flag. That being said, Aaron, it wasn't necessary. That ball was underthrown.
In the NFL, they would call that an uncatchable pass, which is unfortunate because, Savridis was open down the field. If Jerry Ward could get a little bit more air under that, we'd have a touchdown right now. But regardless, going to get some yardage here for the Bearcats offense as the defensive back with an ill-advised pass interference.
And that's a big one because the Stampede defense has been pretty good in this game. They have not made things easy on the Jersey offense. And, of course, we have to keep in mind Stephen Colon not active tonight. And this may be the Jersey offense we see for the foreseeable future, as referenced by A.J. Roque during the pregame. So we will see how long the Bearcats are without Stephen Colon. That being said, Jerry Ward has his team ahead by 2 with a chance for more here. The pass interference, a 10-yard penalty. Ball at the Stampede 20 as Ward looks to throw again. He fakes, tucks, looks to run, and now airs one into the crowd. As Ward took a big hit at the end of that play, and that will set up second down.
Ward scrambling to his right, looking for options as the pass rush came towards him, and he just didn't have any options, had to throw it away. Really good coverage in the defensive backfield from the Stampede. And just nothing going in the air right now for the Bearcats. We haven't seen much from Savridis in particular. I'm hoping they can get him more involved as this game goes on.
Savridis and Renford, the Jersey Bearcats' top 2 wide receivers, both out there right now. Kyle Ward, a name we said quite a bit last year as well. You could make the case that he's their most valuable offensive player outside of the quarterback as A.J. Roque calls timeout. Kyle Ward, of course, a huge part of this Jersey offense. We haven't seen many targets go his way tonight. Not mistaken, he's out there now.
Kyle Ward is out there now.
Renford and Savridis have gotten the lion's share of the targets tonight. A.J. Roque calls timeout. The clock at 1:51 in a 2-point game as we approach halftime. And as I said before, Aaron, if the Bearcats choose to do so, they can manage the clock on this drive to all but ensure that this possession is the last of the first half.
That's right.
That being said, they have to keep the ball moving forward in order to keep the clock running. So that's important to note.
I do believe the Stampede have one more timeout left in the half if they choose to use it. Bearcats will have to work around that if they want to bleed out this clock. That being said, they've shown to have the deep threat in Juju Jordan, so they may only need 1 or 2 plays, the Stampede, to get towards that end zone.
1:51 to go in the half. Second down for the Bearcats. Renford in motion. Ward under pressure, throws up a prayer, and I believe that was batted down at the glass. You cannot use the glass to assist with an interception, and I think that ball was pinned to the glass and then secured by Dante Mason.
Yep, Mason with the coverage there. I think he thought for a minute there he had an interception, but instead it's just a nice defensive play. And we talked about offensive line for the Stampede, but there for the Bearcats just blew up right in Jerry Ward's face. I mean, he didn't have an opportunity to really survey the field at all. Second time this drive that Jerry Ward's thrown a bit of a panic pass.
So inside of the 2 minutes, the clock will stop on the incompletion, and Jersey will have a third down coming up here. Big play for the Stampede defense in this spot. They will have all the time in the world if they can get the ball back with a potential stop on fourth down. Ward the motion man this time. Jerry Ward was looking to set up a screen pass on the left, and the Stampede roll over it. No chance for that play, and that will indeed bring up fourth down.
Being chased there by Pharrell Glow on the Stampede defense. Jerry Ward gave a nice little pump fake to sort of buy himself some time. He rolled out to his left, but just nothing going deep down the field. Really nice coverage here. Defensive backs for the Stampede draped all over the Bearcats wide receivers.
So that brings up fourth down. 1:33 on the clock here in the second quarter. And it's been a relatively slow-moving first half. Many of these arena games have clocked in at the 2-hour mark. We're at the hour and 13-minute mark right now. Savridis in motion. Ward looking to throw downfield. Airs it out toward the end zone. And there was some contact, but the ball falls harmlessly into the boards. And that will be a turnover on downs. Once again, the Steel City defense comes up with a stop. And they will take over with 1:27 on the clock, trailing by just 2.
Well, you talked a lot about that clock management, Joe, and it basically went as poor as possible for the Bearcats. They continued to throw the ball, allowing the clock to just remain stagnant, and it's going to come back to bite them as the Stampede have an abundance of time at their disposal.
And so far in this game, Steel City has challenged Jersey to do something that they did extremely well through all of last season, and that was air the ball out down the field. And those deep connections just haven't been there tonight for this Bearcats offense. It's been a very methodical approach that has yielded them points. And now Steel City will take over with a chance to bring a lead into the locker room. First down, Steel City. Lewis looks right, throws short. That pass complete to Mason. Flags fly out of the offensive backfield. And the clock is stopped at 1:19. The officials will talk about it. Ja Valentine wants a hold against the Stampede on that screen play. And we will see what comes of this conversation between the officials.
It was thrown basically right as that screen pass was caught, so the natural assumption would be that it was holding on one of those blockers. But it seems as though they may be picking that flag up and reversing that call, Joe.
I think Coach Valentine was signaling an eligible man downfield as a potential call. But it doesn't look like they moved Steel City back. It is second down. Jordan in motion. And they throw his way into a double team off the ceiling and nearly caught. Jordan almost did it again, Aaron. As that ball hit off his hands, he was double covered.
Boy, is he dangerous. And the most interesting thing about Juju Jordan's dominance is he is not physically dominant. He is a small wide receiver, but he just manages to get up at the point of attack and beat the defenders to the ball. Nice play there by Adam Dolphin, the defensive back for the Bearcats, making sure that on the bobble, Juju Jordan couldn't reel that in. Clock stops once again.
1:04 to go in the first half, and all of a sudden, Jersey may have their sights set on one more possession. Jordan in motion. Lewis throws left, and that is off the fingertips of his intended target on the play. The intended receiver was Peterson Apollon.
Delonte Lewis visibly frustrated on that play, Joe. He feels as though his wide receiver should have made that catch, and he is very expressive, Lewis. I've taken notice throughout this first half, but he really zipped that one in. Difficult play for the wide receiver to make.
1:01 to go, first half. Fourth down, Stampede. Looks like they have just about 10 to go here based on the sticks I'm seeing. Though the second stick is not upright at the moment. Lewis looks to throw. He's under pressure. A flag flies. It is in the area of holding. That pass down the field was dropped, incomplete. And we had a flag in the offensive backfield. It is a hold against Steel City. That will be declined, and Jersey will take over on downs. 52.8 to go in the half.
Nice effort from Dante Mason there, the wide receiver for the Stampede, but it would not have mattered because of the penalty. So offense is stagnant here towards the end of the half, Joe, and the Bearcats with another opportunity to extend their lead before halftime. How about it?
Well, Aaron, we looked back at week 1 of the 2023 season during our pregame show. And what we saw is that even 2 minutes, even 50 seconds is an eternity in the arena game. Anything can happen in the closing seconds of a quarter, in the closing seconds of a half. Obviously, you have your eye on the last 2 minutes of each half. And we have 52.8 to go in half number 1 here. Jersey leads by 2. Ward flanked by Adams in the offensive backfield. Kyle Ward in motion. They toss to Nasir Adams. And once again, he is met by a host of tacklers as he is taken down just inside of the 20.
Well, not the most explosive run that Adams could have had, but at least that time he was able to pass the line of scrimmage. And most significantly, that means this clock is going to run, and the Bearcats are out of timeouts.
We have Jersey with one left. Perhaps we may have missed one, but officially, I think they have one left. Brentford in motion. Ward looks down the field, throws on the move. Savridis has the catch, and he is thrown into the boards. With about 12 seconds to go, a flag is down in the offensive backfield. For now, it is a Bearcats first down with goal to go and 11.8 on the clock.
This might come back, Joe. Unfortunate because Savridis finally making something happen, getting that connection from Jerry Ward, but Bearcats are walking back, so.
Holding on the offense. Bearcats will back it up. Now, will they get the timeout back? I would presume they will.
One timeout, 11 seconds on the clock. Just about enough time for 2 plays, most likely.
With a timeout, no question. 11.8 to go, first half. The Bearcats lead it by 2. Jersey looking to extend their lead potentially to 2 scores. A touchdown and a PAT would do just that. But they'll have to pick up about 29 yards in under 12 seconds. They did attempt a field goal last week. Perhaps that is on the table. Something to keep in mind. The low ceiling may take that out of play. Ward in motion up the sideline. Jerry Ward throws his way, and I think it went through the breadbasket there. As that ball appeared to be on target, Ward had to dive for it, and he couldn't come up with the catch. 6.1 to go in the half.
Started with 11 seconds on the clock to begin that play, so it took about 5. Meaning if they attempted a similar play here, they actually would get a 3rd attempt.
Clock operator matters quite a bit in this spot.
That's right.
How quickly you get on top of that stop button could be the difference between 2 plays and 1 in this spot. Assuming Jersey was granted their timeout back, they have 1 remaining. 6.1 to go first half. The Bearcats lead it by 2. Ward moves Adams to his right. Savridis in motion. Now 3 receivers to the near side. Ward looks that way, is flushed out. He takes off up the field, throws for the end zone, where it is caught for a touchdown. However, was it a legal forward pass? We'll get a second look. I didn't think so, Aaron. I thought he crossed the line of scrimmage.
I agree. It looked like he came way too far forwards, and he did a little jumping motion as he threw. I don't think that was helpful. We're going to see here. Yeah, he must have been past the line of scrimmage there.
Where was the ball spotted is the question. We'll get one more look at the replay. We'll slow it down a bit as well. This is a huge call, and they will say no touchdown. Line of scrimmage was the 20, and he is well past it. Well past it. However, if any part of his body had been behind the line, it would have been good. That was not the case, and that will bring us to halftime. Our score, the Bearcats 14 and the Stampede 12. This is coverage of Jersey Bearcats Arena Football and the AAL2, only on the PDF Sports Network.
Before we head into halftime, we would like to thank our hosts at the Warren Sports Center.
Radel Volkswagen of Linden is your official sponsor of Bearcats football. Visit our showroom today for great deals and tell them the Bearcats sent you. Radel VW of Linden. Visit us today.
Today's game is presented by Total Performance Bodywork with Dave Riemann. Dave is a body worker, licensed massage therapist, and strength and movement coach. He's combined his wide variety of expertise into a system that he calls Total Performance Bodywork. Trusted by professional athletes and bodybuilders, Dave has been helping people to recover from new and old injuries, improve their breathing efficiency, athletic performance, mobility, flexibility, and their overall strength. Visit Total Performance Bodywork at totalperformancebodywork.com or contact Dave by calling 610-570-7480 or email daverieman@rcn.com.
Today's Bearcats broadcast is brought to you by our friends at Applebee's of Edison, located at 1045 US Highway 1 in Edison. Stop in after the game for great deals and drink specials. And also by J&J Snack Foods, located on 350 Fellowship Road in Mount Laurel. Call us toll-free at 800-486-9533. Thank you, Applebee's and J&J Snack Foods, for supporting Bearcats football.
Attention, local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com.
KKT. InvestStars is now a proud sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL2. No matter what needs you have, F. Tarkin Jones will develop the right solution for you. See for yourself the star treatment you will get with KKT. InvestStars LLC. Call today at 201-290-4802 and be a star just like the Bearcats.
Today's game is being brought to you by Meineke Auto Center. Meineke is your choice for quality, reliable service at great rates all year long. Visit us at 495 East St. George Avenue in Roselle, New Jersey, or call 908-986-3932 to schedule your service today.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at kessler-pt.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL2 champion Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir combines class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See our full lineup today, only at Zolnir, official partner of the Jersey Bearcats.
The Jersey Bearcats are back for another exciting season of AAL2 Arena football. Get on board with us and follow us all year long. For information on our donations, sponsorships, and game day, and ticket information, please contact us at Jersey Bearcats Arena Football at gmail.com.
Bella Pianto Orthopedics, providing care with compassion and integrity for orthopedic disorders and injuries. We also offer concussion support for coaches, schools, and athletes, with 24-hour diagnostic and rehabilitation management for injured athletes. We are the proud team physicians for your New Jersey Bearcats. Please visit our comprehensive website or call us at 201-490-4333.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
And we are back from the Waranenko Sports Arena. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Aaron Cohen. And Aaron, our pregame got cut just a bit short. However, I think we are ready for our halftime interview. So I was about to say we'll take a look back toward Jersey's first game. However, before that, Nick has a guest. It is Lady Bearcat team captain Lauren Powell, and she will tell us a bit more about the Lady Bearcats and the work that they do in the community. So we'll throw it over to Nick in just a few moments. He is joined by Lauren along the sideline.
With Lauren Powell. Lauren, great job out there. How did it feel to get out there for the first game this season?
It felt amazing. The energy from the crowd is really invigorating.
So how did you end up on the team? What was the process like for you to join this team?
So I joined the Lady Bearcats after taking a dance class at Powerhouse Dance in Cherry Hill. The coach came up to me after the class and she said, "I love your energy. Would you like to join?" And I said, "Absolutely." And I've been here ever since.
All right. So what do you do outside of this, and how do you incorporate dance into your everyday life?
Yes, so outside of dance, I am seeking a certification in holistic health and wellness. So my dancing and my passion for holistic health really go hand in hand, and it's exciting for me.
Are you going to be like a Reiki healer? Is that for Allie?
Yes, I will definitely teach a lot of yoga and all that.
Awesome. So what has it been like for your team building camaraderie, and how have you gotten out there in the community?
So we love joining our community. We participate in Rawway Food for Friends and Elijah's Promise. The Lady Bearcats love using their time to serve others.
All right, Lauren, thanks for your time. Good job out there. We look forward to seeing you in the second half. Joe and Aaron, back over to you at the commentary booth.
All right, thank you, Lauren, for that interview and for the Lady Bearcats bringing joy to the fans here in the intermission, working through some technical difficulties as well. Lady Bearcats doing a great job, and we are here at halftime at this game, just as a reminder, between the Bearcats and the Steel City Stampede. I'm Aaron Cohen, joined alongside Joe Foreman, and we are going to get into some highlights, I think, Joe, about the game one between the Bearcats and the Wheeling Miners, if I'm not mistaken, Joe.
We might have to wait, Aaron. I think we might get Bearcats head coach A.J. Roque. He typically joins us at the start of the third quarter. However, we don't have a headset that reaches the bench. So rather than bother him with a microphone on the bench, we may catch up with him right now. We'll see if he's good to join Nick. If he's free for a moment, he will join Nick, and we will throw it back down to field level. So let's give A.J., Nick, and our camera operator, Pat, just a few moments for a word with the Jersey Bearcats head coach.
All right, I'm here on the field with Coach AJ. First half, good game as far as defense is going. Any surprises that you noticed in the first half?
Yeah, that we're killing ourselves. That's what we're doing right now. That we're keeping them in this game. Allowed them to score 12 points. Like, we're acting like we don't want to be here right now. For some reason, I don't know why. But, we had a talk, we cleaned it up, and we're going to come out with hopefully some energy this the second half and get it going.
All right, Coach. Well, I don't want to take up much more of your time. I think that was well said. Best luck in the second half.
Sure.
Joe, Aaron, back over to you at the commentary desk.
Well, a short interview, but we thank AJ for giving us at least some of his time. And now, as I mentioned earlier, we will actually get an opportunity to talk about an earlier matchup this season between the Jersey Bearcats and the Wheeling Miners. A really good game, and we are going to recap some highlights from that matchup for you guys at home.
Well, Aaron, we better hurry because the third quarter is about to get underway. Let's take a look back at some highlights from week one between the Bearcats and the Miners very quickly. Going back to that first Bearcats game, Stephen Colon down the field, and he has Brandon Renford for a touchdown. Jersey took the early lead in the game, but that lead would not stand.
So the Miners were able to respond quickly. Grant Russell moving up in the pocket, making a nice pass to Jeremiah Flores, a 30-yard touchdown, very far down the field.
And here you'll see a field goal wide left, and Aaron Finch of the Miners on the return sets up Wheeling in great field position. There you see him take it all the way down to the Jersey 20-yard line.
And the result from that was a touchdown to Isaiah Robinson in the back of the end zone. Nice sliding catch up against the boards. And the Miners took the lead there on that play.
And these two teams traded blows all night long in this game. Back and forth, back and forth. This time it's Cologne to Savridis. Wide open, and Savridis scores the second Bearcats touchdown. That brought Jersey to within 2 at the time. But as you'll see here, the extra point was blocked as Jersey looked to make it a 1-point game. They are unable to do so. Big return on that blocked extra point, and I believe this was taken in for a touchdown. It was, as that made it 16-13, and then the Miners, of course, score Russell to Robinson.
Bearcats weren't going anywhere, though. Savridis broke out behind the secondary once more. He racked up some yards. Nice pass by the quarterback there to drop it right in the bucket.
Here's a big play late in the game on the goal line. A near fumble, touchdown followed on the very next play as we might have to cut away, but we are awaiting the officials. So we can stay right here. There are no referees on the field as you get a look at that great grab on the touchdown. Russell to Flores. That was an answer to a Nasir Adams touchdown on the Bearcats drive that preceded.
But Cologne, he kept on going. Here he took a big hit as he throws, but he finds Renford down the field once more. And just back and forth, as you mentioned, Joe.
And again, this one would put the game away. It was Grant Russell on the ground, taking it in for 6. That made it a 2-score game late. That put the Bearcats away. Jersey, of course, playing their first game of the season against Wheeling. That put them at a bit of a disadvantage going into week 1. Of course, the Miners were also the home team in that game. They were playing in front of a raucous crowd. That's always a factor, and Wheeling, to their credit, was able to capitalize, and we are certainly excited to see both Wheeling and Jersey face off again later in the season. Obviously, we'll have that game here on PDF, as it's a big return on the kickoff to open up the second half, or at the very least, good field position for Steel City, as Dante Mason carried that one down inside of the Jersey 20-yard line.
And don't forget, Stampede actually have an opportunity with this first drive to take the lead early in this second half because neither of the two teams were able to capitalize towards the end of the second quarter. Both teams sort of floundering to put their mark right before the break. So now the Stampede will get an opportunity. Under center, as always, is Delonte Lewis, playmaker for this visiting team.
Man in motion is Jordan. Ball goes his way, and that was a dangerous pass as Adam Dolphin was right there for the Bearcats defensively. 3 bodies in the area, 2 Stampede players, a Bearcat, and the ball falls harmlessly to the ground incomplete. However, Aaron, I must let our viewers know that tonight's third quarter is being sponsored by Rydell Volkswagen of Linden. Purchasing a car these days can be tough, but not at Rydell, where our expert team makes car buying easy with a friendly staff and accommodation that puts you, the driver, first. Score a touchdown on the field and on the road with Rydell Volkswagen of Linden, proud sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats and their fans. As we have a pre-snap penalty, it is going to be an offsides call against Jersey, and that will move the Stampede up 5.
It was Tariq Noble on the far side, Joe. He was just anxious to get around the corner, jumped a little bit early, so that'll give a couple free yards for the Stampede. Making some substitutions here at the Stampede, and they're going to get the play call from Lewis. Stampede looking to capitalize on the defensive penalty.
They're inside the 15 with a chance to take the lead. Low snap. Lewis escapes trouble in the backfield. He was grabbed by the jersey and eventually brought down. Relentless pursuit in the offensive backfield by Shea Davis. He had some help, I believe, in there on the play as well was Tariq Noble.
Yeah, Noble really made the first incisive move there, forcing the quarterback, Lewis, to make him miss. But eventually Shea Davis will get credit for the sack there, and nice job making up for the penalty for Tariq Noble. I'm sure he'll feel good about that one because he gave up the yards originally, putting them back really close to where they started.
Stampede backed up now following the loss on the sack, and a short gain on the carry there. Went for about a yard or two. And that will bring up fourth down. Lee Holmes on that last carry sets up a fourth down, and we have it at about 8. But again, we can't see the first down marker through the Bearcats bench.
Big opportunity for the Bearcats defense to make a defensive stop. They've had some hard-hitting plays, but they've struggled to really make the Stampede get off the field when it really matters, and a lot of that's due to Juju Jordan, so we'll see what he has to offer.
Lewis steps through the pocket, turns upfield, jukes to the outside, and is leveled. Huge tackle on the play by Keemon Coleman, and that will be a turnover on downs as the Bearcats will take over, leading by 2.
It's the same thing we're seeing over and over again. It's Delonte Lewis hoping to get a pass off, but having to scramble. And he's a good runner. He can make players miss, but he can only do so much in the limited space afforded to him in this field. Bearcats defense doing a good job of swarming, and no matter who it is, they're always able to get a big hit off, especially against this Stampede team.
I said it earlier, I will say it again. It's been a very physical, hard-hitting game throughout the night. And both teams have been dealing out big hits and receiving them. We've seen it from the offensive players as well, leveling hits on defenders. It's been a very physical game as we have a change at quarterback here. And the first pass is a long ball down the field off the fingertips of Renford. First opportunity for Khalil Trotman, a good one, as his man was wide open, streaking up the field, and that ball just a bit too long for Renford.
If that's what Khalil Trotman has to offer, then this might be an exciting change of pace for the Bearcats offense, because that throw, he didn't even get a chance to set his feet. He was still dropping back, his weight was backwards, and he still put that throw almost on the money.
That just missed. Renford got one hand on it. I think the only shot he had was to dive. Either way, it will set up what I thought was a Bearcats second down, though we did have a flag, and I think that came shortly after the play began. So with that penalty, it will be first down. It looks like a first down in about 7 or 8 based on the down markers. It's certainly not 1st and 10 based on where the first down marker is. You'd think they'd have to move the ball up a yard or two, and they do. So maybe 1st and about 5, which would indicate potential pre-snap penalty, perhaps an offsides against Steel City. First down, Jersey. Trotman looks to be the new quarterback for the second half. He remains out there with Nasir Adams. Renford in motion. Trotman looks right, throws that way, down the field. Renford is there, and it's a bit too long once again.
Khalil Trotman, he's getting calibrated to the game. You know, he's coming out cold, didn't really get much of a chance to warm up, hopping off the bench, and he's just got to, get that timing right with his wide receivers. And we've seen Renford, he's had a bunch of near misses already this game. He's got to be frustrated.
It looked like perhaps the Bearcats ran the same exact play in the opposite direction right there. As Renford, one-on-one, streaking across the field, had a big opening in the front corner of the end zone, and once again, Trotman off by inches.
Especially with that running start, Joe, it just gives him so much forward momentum.
It's a really tough cover for these defensive backs off the running start. As the ball ends up in the hands of Nasir Adams on the toss, and he has taken some punishment in the backfield in this game. The Stampede appear committed to not allowing the run game of Jersey to beat them tonight.
And that strategy's been relatively effective, Joe. I mean, because of the quarterback situation, the uncertainty, the change, they haven't been able to establish a dominant passing attack. And so by stopping Nasir Adams, the Bearcats haven't been able to rely on what is normally a very stable aspect of their offense, that running game. So it's very clever coaching from the Stampede. You have to give them credit in that regard.
These two teams very familiar with one another. Third meeting in the last 2 seasons since the AAL2's inception. Obviously, they met in the championship last year. Renford in motion, pre-snap. Trotman looks right and throws that way, off the ceiling, incomplete.
Well, that's part of the adjustment you have to make when you're coming to the Arena League, especially in the Waranenko Center. You can't put that high arcing pass into the air. It's just going to get batted down by the ceiling. So it's an unlucky break for Trotman. He looks somewhat promising, but he's just every play he's run into a different difficulty.
He's thrown a very good ball, just hasn't been on target as of yet. And with this media timeout, we'll step aside and take a quick break. Our score, the Bearcats 14 and the Stampede 12.
Radel Volkswagen of Linden is your official sponsor of Bearcats football. Visit our showroom today for great deals and tell them the Bearcats sent you. Rydell VW of Linden. Visit us today.
Bella Pianta Orthopedics, providing care with compassion and integrity for orthopedic disorders and injuries. We also offer concussion support for coaches, schools and athletes, with 24-hour diagnostic and rehabilitation management for injured athletes. We are the proud team physicians for your New Jersey Bearcats. Please visit our comprehensive website or call us at 201-490-4333.
And we are back from the Waranenko Sports Arena in the middle of a media timeout with the Lady Bearcats performing in front of the live crowd. Jersey leading 14-12. And in just a few moments, we are going to have another fan contest. So Bearcats incorporating many of the young spectators into the game day experience. You love to see that, Aaron.
Yeah, engaging with the community is really good for a new league, trying to get people engaged. It's nice to see. The kids, they love football. They'll watch the sport.
And Aaron, this might be a sprint.
I believe you're right.
Looks that way.
Oh, no.
Fitness Challenge 2.0.
Running it right back.
So we had push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks,
That's right.
and then a sprint to the finish. Jermaine Sanders just beyond the midfield stripe. Now, I don't know how many sit-ups they had them do during the first iteration of this contest earlier, but it was quite a few.
This is a difficult physical test for these kids. I'm not sure that they've done anything so strenuous.
Now, did they just say the prize is a Bearcat sweatshirt?
That's a great prize.
That's a great prize. I want one of those.
Yeah, really. I would take one.
I'm wearing the T-shirt.
Oh, I see. Nice.
We have the network hoodie on top, of course. Need to look professional out here.
Yes, absolutely.
And we are, of course, impartial third parties.
Yeah.
Even though we are employed by the Bearcats.
We're just the broadcast team.
Boy, does that food smell good.
I was thinking that as well.
I think we need a producer whose job it is to get us drinks and food throughout the game.
We're creating a lot of extra producer jobs along this broadcast.
We are job creators here at PDF. Check us out at pdfsportsnet.com. All right. So we had a media timeout ahead of a fourth down. Savrides in motion in the offensive backfield. Trotman looks to his right, airs it out downfield once again, and that is intercepted. Chance for a big return here on the pick. It is Peterson Apollon off the interception, and he is tackled inside of the Jersey 20-yard line. And Aaron, The story of that drive for the Bearcats, missed opportunities.
That's right, and I think that is part and parcel of putting your new QB in, Khalil Trotman. You're going to have some growing pains. The first couple plays where he had the opportunity to throw the ball were more of physical mistakes, but I think that was a mental mistake, Joe. I don't think that was a good passing decision. Not an open receiver. He threw it directly to Apollon, his second interception of the game.
So typically what you will see in many games where teams consistently go for it on fourth down, they'll take a chance. In the arena game, it's a lot more risky because it is far easier to set up your offense in great field position when the field is this much shorter. And that's something to keep in mind. We already are approaching 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. This quarter has moved very quickly. Low snap. Lewis throws left off target, and a flag flies as we are going to have a hold against Steel City. So back to Stampede up 5, and it will be first down, or I should say 10. It will be first down and 20.
Tough break for the Stampede's momentum. It was all going their way off of the turnover, but now first and long, not the way for this offense to get clicking because they still really haven't gotten clicking this game. It's really been an element of getting stuff, incomplete passes, and throwing up that Hail Mary on the fourth down, which Juju Jordan has been bailing them out, but Stampede offense not going the way they would hope.
Chance of defense from the Bearcats supporters. Second down. Lewis down the field, and the referee collides with Devontae LeGrand, and I think that one may have prevented an interception. Just maybe. Just maybe.
Oh, how unfortunate. And, you know, the referee, he didn't move a muscle. He didn't get in the way necessarily, but just happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And I'm sure LeGrand is disappointed, would have loved to put an interception on his stat sheet and swing the momentum for his team, but it wasn't to be.
Now, the down markers read second down ahead of that play. We had first down. I might have misspoke and said second down, but that was a first down snap following the holding. It is second down, and it should be 20 following a hold, depending on where the hold occurred. Looked to be at the line of scrimmage. Second and long. Lewis to his right. Jump ball caught. Once again, the Stampede coming up with a big catch in traffic. And this time on the reception, it was Dante Mason.
Well, we've seen Juju Jordan do it, and he's been quite good at those jump balls, but clearly they have more than one wide receiver capable of making those contested catches. Dante Mason playing both offense and defense, by the way, really shining there, and that's exactly what the Stampede needed. Playmaking on offense.
That did not set up a first down. Sticks have third as Jordan has another reception. And taking a look to see if that was enough. It is indeed enough for a Stampede first down. So credit to the Steel City offense. They worked their way out from a 2nd and 20 hole to pick up a first down inside of the Jersey 10-yard line. The ball spotted at the 8. And now the Stampede with a golden opportunity to take the lead.
They're finally getting that medium passing game going, Joe. That's really what they've been lacking, and it's finally connecting a little bit. Nice moves here by Mason. Close to the goal line, still a couple yards to go.
Right now, Aaron, I'm having an issue with internet connectivity. I'm checking on the broadcast live. And right now, it doesn't appear to be running smoothly, though we are up to date with the most recent play. So what I want to do is make sure I'm not taking up the foremost. Goal to go, Stampede, second down. 1:15 left in the quarter as they try and push Lewis toward the goal line, but he's short. And now a big third down coming up for Steel City. They look to be about 1 yard away from the end zone, maybe a bit less.
Well, we know that they don't want to kick this. They don't have someone to do that, so it's basically 2 more attempts for them. Tush push did not work out, so they might try and get a little more creative here on this second attempt. We know that Lewis can rush the football, so he might leak out to the side like he did on that first touchdown in the first quarters.
So the Stampede went tush push on second. They hand it off on third, and they won't get it. 3 Bearcats in the backfield, led by Keemon Coleman. And now the Stampede will have a 4th down and goal with a chance to take the lead, and it looks like that play will have to wait until the 4th quarter as the clock winds down towards 0. And we will wrap up quarter number 3 from the Waranenko Sports Arena. Before we head to break, I'd like to remind everyone one more time that our 3rd quarter was brought to you by Rydell Volkswagen of Linden. Purchasing a car these days can be tough, but not at Rydell, where our expert team makes car buying easy with a friendly staff and accommodations that put you, the driver, first. Score a touchdown on the field and on the road with Rydell Volkswagen of Linden, proud supporter of the Jersey Bearcats and their fans. We'll be right back with the start of the 4th quarter. 4th down and goal to go for Steel City.
Rydell Volkswagen of Linden is your official sponsor of Bearcats football. Visit our showroom today for great deals and tell them the Bearcats sent you. Rydell VW of Linden. Visit us today.
Bella Pianto Orthopedics, providing care with compassion and integrity for orthopedic disorders and injuries. We also offer concussion support for coaches, schools and athletes, with 24-hour diagnostic and rehabilitation management for injured athletes. We are the proud team physicians for your New Jersey Bearcats. Please visit our comprehensive website or call us at 201-490-4333.
We are back from the Waranenko Sports Arena, where once again the Lady Bearcats took the field in between quarters for in-venue entertainment. And Aaron, there's been a lot of entertainment value on the field as well. In this game, these two teams have really gone at one another, and now a huge opportunity for Steel City. 4th down and goal to go. A touchdown gives them the lead. Jordan in motion. Lewis tries to scramble for it. He heads toward the goal line, and I think he got it. But the question is, what is the flag for? It is a penalty against Steel City, and that will negate a touchdown. Will it send the Bearcats offense out on the field? As it looks like Jersey was attempting to decline the penalty, I think Lewis may be down as well.
That would be real bad news for the Stampede, Joe.
No question about it. If there's one player they can't afford to lose right now, it is their starting quarterback.
He's hunched awkwardly on the ground. He looks to be in considerable pain.
He gave everything he had to get to the goal line. And once again, the Jersey defense rallying to the spot. It's always tough to pick out the number and the players in the defensive line that are having such a big impact on the game. And oftentimes the players up front on the offensive line and the players up front on the defensive line don't get enough credit for the work they do in games. Of course, the sack numbers stand out, and we've seen interceptions by the Bearcats defensive line in the past. But the line play in this game has been so disruptive to these two offenses that we've only seen 26 points scored. I don't think we've seen a game this low scoring in our entire time covering the AAL2 here on PDF. A big part of that is the work of the defensive linemen up front.
Well, if we flash back to the end of the second quarter, we were talking about whether either team would be able to grab a lead going into halftime, and since that moment, nobody has scored. The entire third quarter, there were no points scored.
So the Stampede make a change at quarterback. Mason is in. He will take off, and he breaks a tackle, stumbles forward. Did he get it? I don't think so. He looks just short as Mason nearly stole 6 points there. He was contacted well short of the end zone and nearly stumbled all the way down to the goal line.
What an effort from Mason there, Joe. Thrown into the quarterback position off the injury, and looked like he was going to, get some yardage, but not nearly close. But the extra effort, you got to commend him there. Working hard for the Stampede, but still scoreless in the second half. And now the Bearcats will be tasked with driving down the entire field to hopefully extend their lead.
Well, don't look now, Aaron, but the score is 14-12. A safety would tie this game, and Jersey is backed way up against their own end zone. However, ahead of this Jersey drive, we'd like to let everyone know that tonight's final quarter is sponsored by Bella Pianta Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, providing state-of-the-art treatments with compassion and integrity. One championship team deserves another. Visit us at Bella Pianta Orthopedics, proud sponsor of the Jersey Bearcats. Savrides in motion. Trotman throws the other way and overshoots his intended target. That ball well over the head of Renford.
Still struggling with that passing game. Khalil Trotman still trying to sort himself out. It was a bold move to switch quarterbacks in the middle of the game, Joe, especially since Jerry Ward, while not playing a perfect game, he was still making some plays. So I would be interested to learn about the decision-making that went into that. Hopefully it pays off for the Bearcats, and they still do have their lead.
Well, you could tell at halftime when we spoke to Coach A.J. Roque, he did not like the team his way played in that, or I should say, the way his team played in that first half. Trotman sends a man in motion. That's Ward up the near side. He throws middle. And the feet of Mason and Renford get tied up. Renford has been the top target tonight for these Bearcats quarterbacks, and he hasn't had many that have been on target for him. Had the one drop early, but the rest of his opportunities have come on passes that have been off the mark.
Yeah, Renford can only do so much as the receiver. He hasn't really gotten that ball in stride. We know that once he does, he can really make things happen, but you can really trace the issues back to the quarterback position.
In this second half, the offensive line for the Bearcats, which right now consists of Zahir Rittman, Steven Nelson, and Christopher Coles, they've given Trotman time to throw. He's gotten throws off, and they've just been off target. And here, Adams pushed right into the face of his quarterback as that is intercepted for the third time tonight by Peterson Apollon, and he is in for a Stampede touchdown.
Wow.
Pressure bursts pipes, Aaron, and Adams was pushed right into the face of his quarterback, Trotman, who then forced the throw on the crossing route. It was undercut by Apollon, and he has 3 INTs in this game.
3 interceptions and now a pick 6, and he's clearly good at reading the quarterback's eyes, Joe. He can tell where that ball is going to go. He waits patiently to make the receiver seem as though they're open and just jumps right in front of that pass. And that's when you take this risk, this quarterback joining the team, you put him into the game, and he's not used to the arena football environment. And it's understandable because you have to take risks when your star quarterback goes down, and it just puts you in vulnerable situations, Joe, and that's what happened here.
Well, these two teams all night long have had to methodically move up and down the field on offense. They have really struggled for points throughout this game, but the defenses have made plenty of big plays, as it looks like there was a penalty for roughing against the Stampede. Now, typically, a roughing penalty would negate a turnover unless it was just a personal foul that occurred after the play. So we're getting a nod from Nick. That was the call. Personal foul, not roughing. And Mason remains in at quarterback. He looks to his left, throws over the middle. And that pass was caught by Apollon, who was taken down at the 10-yard line. So that one doesn't get close to a conversion. It's a 4-point game with 8:45 to go in the fourth quarter. And Aaron, the pressure now rests firmly upon this Bearcats offense. They haven't scored since very early in this game, and that has to weigh on you a bit. Now you have possession, trailing for the first time tonight. And you can see from here A.J. Roque beside himself right now.
This is going to be make or break, Joe. Don't forget about the wider context. Early in the season, they already lost their first game 0-1, trying to get their momentum in this home opener. But an 0-2 start for the defending champions, that's a difficult outlook. And with the star quarterback gone, what does that say for the rest of your season, Joe? It's a difficult spot to be in and unfortunate as well.
It says that perhaps it's going to have to be a very grinded-out, gritty kind of season for this Bearcats team. And this has been a back-and-forth game. Still almost 9 minutes to go. Kickoff taken back inside the Stampede 20. And on the return there was Tariq Pusey. So Pusey takes it down deep into Stampede territory, and just like that, this Bearcats offense has great starting field position.
It's worth reminding everyone that just one score, one touchdown, and the Bearcats have their lead back. And I feel that the Bearcats feel confident with their defense in stopping the Stampede offense. So just got to get that one in the end zone, put your team in a favorable position once more.
Bearcats will officially take over at the Steel City 17-yard line.
Staying in the game is Khalil Trotman. They've decided to stand by their decision on the quarterback switch. Jerry Ward remains on the bench.
Trotman has Adams to his left. Man in motion, Kyle Ward. They toss it over to Adams, and once again, Steel City all over it. And this Stampede defense has allowed absolutely nothing in the ground game.
Got to give them credit there. They've really gotten this run scheme under wraps and forcing to the Bearcats to do what they have been unable to do, which is pass that football, trying to sort out the uncertainty with the most important position. And this is almost feeling like a kind of tryout game, Joe, to figure out what's the best thing to do with quarterback going forward.
Well, you know that this Bearcats coaching staff will go back and look at the game film and analyze each play and get a look at what each of these quarterbacks did in this game. And I think what they'll see is a lot of very close misses. And even though they're close, this team not accustomed to seeing their quarterback miss throws. Stephen Colon last year very rarely misfired. And that's something that this offense will have to work through as each of these quarterbacks gets more reps. You have to think that will change. But tonight, those passing plays just haven't been there. Second down. Ward in motion. Trotman throws in Ward's direction. He's got it, and he's in for the touchdown. Quick strike for this Bearcats offense, something we saw so often last season. And Trotman has Jersey back in front. Our score is now 20-18.
I do want to say it's worth noting that before this game started, we heard word that they might have found a quote-unquote diamond in the rough at quarterback with Trotman. And, you know, his start was a little bit slow, but, you know, maybe they did. He's shown some flashes. He finally is able to connect there. And who knows where Trotman can go with this. We don't want to be entirely negative. He's shown some upside.
And I think that play right there shows you just how quickly one pass can flip the script. Jersey back in front. The clock's still running. as it ticks down towards 6 minutes. The extra point is good. It's now a 3-point Jersey lead. And I believe we have a media timeout coming up shortly, so we'll wait and see if that is the case. All right, fourth quarter media timeout. Quick break for us here on PDF. Our score with 6:10 remaining, the Jersey Bearcats 21 and the Steel City Stampede 18.
Bearcats fans, stay tuned just prior to kickoff as the Jersey Bearcats' own Shay Davis will sing tonight's national anthem. Coming up at the conclusion of the Brownstone pregame show right here on the PDF.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL2 champion Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir combines class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See our full lineup today, only at Zolnir, official partner of the Jersey Bearcats.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
And we are back here from the Waranenko Sports Arena, where I have very quickly learned that it is much harder to dress like a Bearcat than it would seem on the surface. Two young fans taking the field for our latest media timeout on-field contest, and getting those football pants on over shoes, nearly impossible. They had to ditch the footwear and then get the spandex pants on, as two young fans donning jerseys, helmets, and those pants make their way toward midfield, where our contest will conclude. Some help from the official as well. Jermaine Sanders getting in on the action as well, as the two contestants approach the 25. So when this contest comes to its conclusion, it will be Bearcats 21, Stampede 18. 6:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Once again, this is Joe Foreman alongside Aaron Cohen. And Aaron, I'm not sure how much of this contest you caught, as you had to sprint out for just a moment, but I've learned that it is very difficult to dress like a Bearcat. We have a winner.
Well, I wasn't able to catch that challenge, but I have to say, generally speaking, I am a big fan of the mid-quarter competitions. It's not something that I've seen before, but I like that we're getting the fans and the kids involved.
Swag bags for our contestants. You love to see it, as the two teams wait to resume play. Also, we have a bake sale tonight in support of the Lady Bearcats.
Oh, wow. I did see some Lady Bearcats passing around cupcakes.
Now, are they selling birthday cakes?
That I do not know. That I do not know.
The two teams finally set to take the field here. 6:10 on the clock. The Bearcats will kick off, and the Stampede will take possession, trailing by 3. And Aaron, very quickly, this is becoming reminiscent of the game between these two teams last season. The Bearcats in that game led late. That lead got away. Now, that lead was far more than 3 points, but the point being, that game came down to the final seconds, and we appear to be potentially headed in that direction once again.
That's right. After a really quiet third quarter, both teams finally getting some points in
and
quick
that's
succession.
a dangerous play as the squib kick hit off the hands of Mason. And fortunately for Steel City, he was able to get back on top of it. Those squib kicks, really tough to handle. You can very rarely predict how that ball is going to skip up the turf. And as a return man, that's a very unenviable position to be in. But fortunately for the Stampede, Mason was able to corral it. And now Steel City will take over at about their own 16-yard line. Check that, the 11.
Most notably, despite the fact that he did maintain possession for his team, what it did was it pushed him back on his return. So not favorable field position for perhaps the first time off of a kickoff this game.
How about that? We had a happy birthday graphic on the screen for me. I just saw it through the YouTube stream. So in case somebody missed our pregame, I've been outed. As it looks like the snap was botched by Steel City. And Aaron, that was a big storyline in the first meeting last year, as we saw that happen to the Stampede no less than 3 times in that game. And with that, they give away a down on first.
Yeah, that was an issue a lot. And it actually led to a couple fumbles from the Stampede and even a turnover or two. Really easy way to stun your offense if you can't transfer the ball from your center to your quarterback.
Clock continues to wind as we approach 4 minutes to go. So it does not look like Delonte Lewis will be returning. I think that was clear on the last drive, but it is Dante Mason at quarterback for the Stampede. He will look to throw. He fires right, and that is short of his intended target. That was Peterson Apollon, who has had such a huge game defensively. That time, the pass skips in short.
And that's going to have a big mark on the way that this game looks once it's over. If the Bearcats are able to come away with a victory, of course it will be a win just like any other in the win column, but you'll look back at it as the game where the Stampede lost their quarterback. That's going to be the biggest moment.
They're not the only team without their starting quarterback tonight.
That's certainly true.
It's a 3-point Jersey lead. 3:15 to go, fourth quarter. Mason will look to pass once again, and he completes. Apollon with the catch across the 15-yard line, taken down at the 17. And that will bring up third down and about 4.
Referee signaling fourth down, Joe. I
might have been mistaken. I think I misspoke. It was fourth down.
Fourth and short.
I looked over at the down marker too quickly. It is fourth down. It is fourth down.
Huge play here in this game. Approaching 2.5 minutes left. Fourth and short.
If the Stampede gets stopped here, they might not get it back down 1 score again. They need a first down. High snap brought down by Mason. He looks to run. He takes off up the middle of the field. He's wrapped up and taken down at the 20, and that would not be enough. And they are indeed short. Turnover on downs. Mason comes up just short on the run. And fired up is Joey Ramirez and this Bearcats defense.
Great job tackling by that Bearcats defense. Mason, very slippery player, able to generate extra yards with his small frame, but 3 Bearcats tacklers there on the play to make sure that Mason does not extend across that line of game. So the Bearcats offense back on the field, Joe, and it's going to put the Stampede in a really, really difficult position.
Steel City now will have to use their timeouts. Clock reads 1:54, but that will be reset to 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. Bearcats by 3. One first down. If they can move forward on 3 straight plays, would do it, Aaron. But in the arena game, it is so tough when the other team knows that you're looking to run. Adams lined up to the left of Trotman. Savrides in motion. They will hand off to Adams, and that will go for a loss. The clock will stop.
It's a fumble, Joe.
It was stripped away. Unbelievable. As Adams went down to the turf, the football was ripped out, and coming away from the pile with it was Keem Stewart. Jersey can't believe it, but it is ruled a turnover. Here's a second look. Really tough to tell. It looks like Stewart had his back to us.
It looked like
there's a flag down on the play as well. That may have been after the play. However, the flag was thrown on the side of the Steel City defense rather than in the offensive backfield. However, the Stampede offense is on the field.
Nasir Adams is very upset. He does not feel like that play was called correctly by the referees. But as it stands, great defensive play by the Stampede, giving their offense a chance to make it right.
We had offsetting penalties, so the Stampede are going to keep possession. The penalties occurred after the play was over. Offsetting personal fouls. 1:53 to go. Bearcats by 3. Mason takes the snap. Rolls to his right, under pressure, and is forced to get rid of it over the middle. Nobody home. And another flag flies in the offensive backfield as we will await the call. The Stampede pointing at the Bearcats. The Bearcats pointing at the Stampede. Coach Ja thinks the call is against Steel City. And we await the final ruling. It looks like they're going to pick up the flag. So they pick up the flag. The result of the play is an incomplete pass. And now the Bearcats bench is unhappy.
So a lot of hubbub for no penalty.
Second down and 10. 1:47 to go. The clock is stopped here. Mason will once again look to throw. He's going deep, left side, and that is intercepted. Adam Dolphin with the pick. And he is taken down at his own 10-yard line with 2 flags thrown on the play. One in the secondary and one near the line of scrimmage.
I believe both of those flags were thrown after the interception was made, so I think it should stay Bearcats' ball. And that is correct based on where the ball is spotted, but they may be moved back based on these penalties if they're not offsetting.
If the Bearcats committed a penalty that would back them up, that puts them in a very precarious spot near their own goal line. If the Stampede committed a penalty that moves Jersey forward, I don't think it changes too much. The Bearcats will be looking for a first down or two to end this game. But as I said, Aaron, bleeding out the clock in the arena game, much easier said than done. You cannot kneel it. You have to move forward. So that's something to keep in mind as Jersey potentially looks to run out the remaining 98 seconds. The officials still conferring regarding that last play.
I think they're trying to work out the nature of the penalties committed and what the end result is for the possession of the ball and the placement.
We've seen a lot of prolonged discussions tonight. And I said it earlier, Aaron, typically these arena games have run about 2 hours. We're going on 2 hours and 30 minutes. However, they've incorporated the media timeouts, the on-field contests for the spectators, and of course the Lady Bearcats. So they've stepped up their game in terms of presentation here at the Jersey Bearcats home, the Waranenko Sports Arena. And Aaron, I think the Steel City offense is staying out. Offsetting penalties resulting in a replay of the down. And that is a huge call as the interception by Dolphin is negated.
Wow.
Fans don't like that.
How about that?
Boos echoing through the Waranenko Sports Arena now, and new life for the Stampede offense. They're getting the chain set properly here.
And it appears as though the ball has been moved downfield. All of a sudden, Stampede gaining a bunch of yardage.
Stampede have been awarded a first down. So initially the official said that the penalties were offsetting. However, Steel City's been given a first down. Not quite sure why. Perhaps we missed something in that announcement, but with 1:38 left, Steel City will have a first down. And now the situation for Jersey a bit more precarious. Looking to avoid an 0-2 start. Mason looks to pass, steps up through the pocket. Flag in the offensive backfield, and Mason is taken down at the 15.
Flag on the field in the offensive backfield. We might get another holding here. Clock is running right now.
A bit surprised that inside of 2 minutes they don't stop it on a flag, and it looks like they did, but a bit later than when the flag was thrown. That leaves us with 1:12 on the clock. The down marker still reads first down, so you'd presume that the call was holding, and I believe that they were at the 15, so holding was the penalty. It backed them up 10. First down at the 5. First and 20, Steel City. Mason sends Jordan in motion and brings in another high snap. He's forced to run. He takes off up the sideline, has room, and is slammed into the boards head first inside the 15 at the 13-yard line of the Bearcats. The clock continues to run.
They've got to work. They gain forward possession. They do have timeouts. The clock is still going.
Coach Ja was looking toward his bench. Timeout was not called there. And the clock continues to run as we approach 40 seconds to play. Second down, Steel City. They need about 8. And a timeout has been called by the Bearcats.
Coach looks frustrated. Seems as though he's unhappy with something that transpired there.
I was a bit surprised that Jersey didn't call timeout initially. That being said, 37 seconds and eternity in the arena game. However, I think it would be a certainty after that they would call a timeout after each play where the clock is running. So they didn't call one initially following that first down play. They call it now. And with 37.3 to go, both teams will talk it over. Now, Aaron, Stampede have timeouts to burn here. We have Steel City with 3 and Jersey with 2. The quarterback draw was a play that worked earlier. That last play saw the entire Jersey defensive front in the offensive backfield. I'm looking perhaps at some point during this drive for the Stampede to go back to that QB draw. Jordan in motion. And And it is indeed a QB draw. The Bearcats were ready. The clock is stopped. That was not a positive yardage play, and they tried it, Aaron. It did not work.
Yeah, I think that the Bearcats are ready for that. It seems as though the Stampede not having any success over the air, so the threat of the pass is kind of disintegrated for the most part.
The running game for both sides tonight, outside of the quarterback position, has been non-existent.
That's right.
The teams have not been able to gain positive yards on the ground from the halfback spots. A run cost quarterback Delonte Lewis of the Stampede this game. He has not returned since taking a big hit on the goal line. And we've seen a lot of big hits dealt to the new quarterback, Dante Mason. He sends Jordan in motion on third down. He will look that way. He throws left. It's tipped and nearly intercepted. Elijah McKenzie had a chance to potentially put this game away, but instead it will be fourth down, Steel City.
Well, the game could have been ended right there with that turnover, Joe. Slipped right through the arms of McKenzie. To be fair, with the deflected ball, really difficult to adjust in time, but I'm sure he'll be ruining that. Now it's up to this last play. Stampede need the yardage. It's fourth and short.
First down for Steel City can be picked up at about the 5-yard line. They will snap this from the 18. Fourth and 13. Steel City does have 3 timeouts. 25.4 to go. Apollo in the motion man. That's heaved downfield and intercepted. Devontae LeGrand with the pick, and he is tackled at the Jersey 20-yard line. Footwear goes flying everywhere at the 20, but a Bearcats interception leaves just 14.5 to go.
Well, they found themselves in a situation where the Stampede had no choice but to throw the football. And with the backup quarterback in the game, Bearcats decided to blitz, and that worked perfectly for them. Mason forced to throw up a Hail Mary pass, and there were more Bearcats there than Stampede players, Joe, and you can only do so much there, the Stampede. Difficult spot for them to be in, and I think that will probably do it for the Bearcats.
Peterson Apollon, the intended target. And we've seen this receiving core for Steel City have the chances fairly well distributed. The Bearcats have taken Jordan out of this game in the second half. We saw them double team him earlier after a couple of big receptions on fourth down via jump balls. Keep in mind, Steel City does have 3 timeouts. 14.5 to go. Perhaps the Bearcats just air it out down the field 3 times to run off the final 14.5. And a botch snap results in a fumble. And Trotman gets on top of it as it looks like we have an injured Bearcat in the offensive backfield. And Aaron, that was almost a complete disaster.
Oh my goodness. And just when you thought this game did not have another twist or turn in it, the Bearcats trying to give that extra element of entertainment. Botched handoff there. Did not hand the ball off cleanly. Thankfully, Trotman was alive to it, because otherwise, Stampede given another chance out of nothing. And that being said, Bearcats still got to figure out a way to get this ball past the line of scrimmage. Even if they don't, might not matter.
I don't think it will, Aaron, with 6.9 to go. But on that play, it almost looked like the snap hit Adams on its way to Trotman, and then Adams picked up the ball and fumbled. Trotman then scooped it up, and he was taken down for a positive gain. So that kept the clock running and forced Steel City to use a timeout. That being said, with 6.9 to go, if you're Jersey, drop back and heave it down the field twice, and the game's over.
Yeah.
I thought they would do that on first down.
All you have to do is prevent a very unlikely full field pick six. That's the worst possible scenario.
If you don't turn it over, you can't lose here.
That's right.
You don't even need to move forward. Just don't turn it over.
Yeah.
So we are still awaiting this second down snap as A.J. Roque confers with the officials.
I wonder if he's trying to make the argument that they did advance the ball forwards.
They did advance it forward. The clock kept running. If that play did not go for positive yardage, extra time came off the clock. That play was not 8 seconds, maybe 5 at most. I think there should be at least 9 seconds left if that did not go for positive yardage.
I'm wondering if the injury is what caused the clock to stop, because I guess otherwise this game would be over.
Steel City called timeout, so that stopped the clock. We've seen quite a few lengthy discussions tonight. I think they just said 11 and a half. So that would make that a 3-second play. That seems a little quick. 11 seconds on the clock right now. I thought I heard 11 and a half. And indeed, it is 11.5 to go.
So there you go. That's probably enough time where one pass down the field won't bring it all the way down to 0, but they still have plenty of downs to work with.
Heave it downfield, Aaron. You do that twice, the game is over.
That's right.
Max protect and throw it through the end zone. Now they have 14 on the clock as Trotman carries. And with the clock still running, no timeout has been called. And the game is over. So apparently the Stampede did not have enough timeouts to stop the clock. Otherwise, I would have suspected they'd use them. But it is a win in the home opener for the Jersey Bearcats as they hold on to knock off the Steel City Stampede 21-18.
The opening night score is the Steel City Stampede 18 and the Bearcats.
Our engineer and on-field correspondent, Nick Durst, will head down to the field along with our camera operator, Pat Gilorenzo, for conversations with our player of the game. Also, we have the Coach K post-game wrap-up. The problem is they can't hear us on the field, so Nick will lead those discussions. And Nick will make his way down now. So what we're going to do is step off headset for about 30 seconds. Once Nick gets situated down on the field, Aaron and I will rejoin you from up here at the commentary desk, and we will bring you our post-game report. Once again, our final score, the Jersey Bearcats 21 and the Steel City Stampede 18. Coach K post-game wrap-up and a chat with our player of the game coming up. Joe Foreman back with you alongside Aaron Cohen as we get set for our post-game report, including the Coach K post-game wrap-up. Our on-field correspondent, Nick Durst, headed down to the field right now. We will bring him into the broadcast in just a few moments, as it looks like an honorary member of the Steel City Stampede is going to score on the final play of the night. So great to see an honorary member of this Stampede squad getting a chance to carry the ball across the goal line and into the end zone. Now, I'll have to double as our camera operator, so with a headset on, I make my way up to the platform. I believe the honorary Stampede player is Corey Martinez, though it's very hard over public address to make out the name. So I do apologize if I'm mistaken.
This is multi-talented broadcasting people. Commentating and camera operating simultaneously.
This camera's a bit stiff, huh? Big block on the goal line, as that is a touchdown. Now, this Zoom button playing tricks on me right here. But we got it. Very versatile crew here at the PDF Sports Network.
Corey Martinez scores his touchdown. Big celebrations for the honorary Stampede member.
I do apologize if I mistakenly said Corey instead of Colby. Very tough over PA to get everything set up. But it looks like Coach K is ready for us. Nick joined by Coach K right at midfield. So I will dismount from our camera platform and I will throw it down to field level, where Nick Durst is joined by Coach Corey Miller.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Take
Here
it
with
away.
Coach K, who we teased in the pregame was going to be ready for postgame. Coach, I know you've been waiting a long time to talk to us again, but what a game here tonight. Came down to the very end there with some good defense to close it out.
Yeah, I tell you what, welcome back to the AAL2's #1 postgame show. Wrap it up with Coach K. Yeah, I tell you what, that was one ugly game. They came out to play. They punched us in the mouth. They did not stop swinging the entire game. Those guys wanted it, and fortunately it wasn't enough for them. But we got the dub, but we got a lot of things to work on.
So how about that big pick at the end, part two, to actually seal it to get the ball back?
Part two, man, I tell you what, LeGrand, he works his butt off in practice. That's one of the things he does. That kid comes in and works, smacks people around, doesn't talk, just gets to work. And I love that. He's a lunch pail guy. He's a Coach K kind of guy.
All right, back to 500 now. Let's take a look ahead here. You said a lot of things to clean up, but what are we going to be looking here that's going to be different next time we see you on the broadcast?
Well, we were missing a start no lineman, which never really helps, but we just got to clean up offense, defense, special teams. I gave a little bit of a speech at halftime with the special teams. They picked it up, and I'm pretty happy with where we ended up, but we got to start way stronger. We were flatter than a 2-year-old Diet Coke. It was brutal. We walked out, I didn't even know if there was a football game going on or if we were just at the farmer's market.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on the win. Might have been ugly, but it's a win nonetheless. Go celebrate. Joe, Aaron, back over to you.
Arabella Lynn, if you see this, go to bed.
All right, send your kids to bed. Joe, Aaron, back over to you.
Thank you to our sideline correspondent, Nick Durst, and Coach K, who was kind enough to join us after each and every Jersey Bearcats home game. Nick and Pat will have to track down our player of the game, who is coming over in just a moment. Don't want to spoil the surprise, as it will be a surprise for me as well, Aaron. So let's see who it is that joins Nick and Pat. And it looks like it is going to be number 8, Devontae LeGrand, our player of the game. And in just a few moments, we'll throw it down to Nick.
All right, thanks, Joe, here with the player of the game, Devontae LeGrand. The big pick there at the end. How'd you see that play playing out? How were you able to pick that off?
Pretty much, so the team needed to play, and that was pretty much the time, pretty much where we came in, and you know what? We're going man on man, and then just make a play, honestly. It came down to the wire. I know you guys seen the time, as far as the time was running down. I can't just be more elated because my team had my back throughout the whole thing. You know, as far as the games, early in the game was a little bit challenging. Here and there, they was getting little plays off and things like that, but then as we came out to halftime, we started pretty much dialing and dialing, and then that's how that play came about.
All right, yeah, so obviously defense led the way here. Ugly win, but a win nonetheless. So how much pride do you guys take in being able to hold the opponents to a low score?
Oh, but it's our home opener. So that alone we feel proud about that. We started off 1-0 at home. We protect this house, as you see. And then what we're doing is planning on building on momentum.
All right, congratulations. Go enjoy the victory with your teammates. We'll see you again later on in the season. And that's it, Joe and Aaron. Back to you. That was the player of the game. Back over to you guys to close it out.
All right, thank you, Nick. That is our player of the game, Devontae Legrand, defensive back for the Jersey Bearcats. And Aaron, the Jersey secondary had to come up big tonight. They were forced to come away with a big interception late. They had to come up with a big stop to close the game out. They did just that, and they win their home opener by a final score of 21-18.
Really important moment for this Bearcats season, getting that first win on the board. For a moment there, it looked like even a depleted Stampede were going to give the Bearcats issues, and they might have fallen to 0-2, but they found a way to save it. Big plays, especially interception by Dolphin right at the end of the game with some topsy-turvy moments. A lot of drama there towards the end of the game. But at the end of the day, Bearcats win a relatively low-scoring affair. And in a week or two from now, it'll look like any other win in the win column. 21-18, the final score between these Bearcats and the Stampede. Rematch of that championship game from last year, but just a slightly different storyline.
And here's a look at our upcoming schedule of broadcasts here on the PDF Sports Network. If you like what you heard tonight, plenty more where that came from in the coming weeks. More Jersey Bearcats football later this season. We have women's professional football as the Division II champion New York Wolves also aired on the PDF Sports Network tonight. They are back here on PDF next weekend as we head to Farmingdale for a matchup between the Wolves and the Nighthawks. We have soccer played on Staten Island as well. Soap FC in action here on PDF. We have an ALS fundraiser as well, a charity event that will take place on May 13th. And then the big one, Aaron, we are back here at the Waranenko Sports Arena on May 18th as the Jersey Bearcats host the Wheeling Miners. That's a game that I know we're all looking forward to. We also have more football ahead of the Bearcats game. That game we played on Staten Island as the Staten Island Hurricanes will be in action. A football doubleheader here on PDF on May 18th. Can't wait to cover that.
A lot of exciting things to look forward to in this PDF network. A lot of great coverage, a lot of different football leagues. If you're a fan of football and you want to get educated on what the New York area has to offer, the PDF Sportsnet is the place to be.
No question about it. That's a great way to wrap it up, Aaron. Once again, my name is Joe Foreman. My broadcast partner tonight here on PDF was Aaron Cohen. Our engineer and sideline correspondent was Nick Durst, and our camera operator was Pat Gilorenzo. The Jersey Bearcats win their home opener by a final score of 21-18 over the Steel City Stampede. For more Jersey Bearcats football, visit the Bearcats website and the American Arena League website, as well as our website at pdfsportsnet.com. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and more. We'll see you next week for New York Wolves football here on PDF. Everyone enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.